Who's ready for the party? I don't know why I've suddenly become an Italian plumber, but one and all, happy Friday. You survived to the weekend. You must be so proud of yourself. And now I'm going to drown you in Age of Empires tournaments games. How about... I don't know if I like wait. Can I... That's not the full zoom. That's not the full zoom out, is it? One sec. Sorry, I'm curious. Now that I've gone live, why is my camera so floppy? Okay, I don't have a zoom in thing, but I think... Am I zooming elsewhere with this? Nope. Interesting. I thought that was a wide lens. I need to get more sponsors so I can just cram them in frame. And look like I'm chilling all day and all night, baby. Also, not sure why this camera's not standing up. By the way, are these like still grabbable? Can you actually get these anywhere, or are these now limited edition? Age of Empires pins, they gotta be available somewhere. Final starting win. So I just got confirmation because one of the players has some real life things to sort. The finals won't be today, so it's going to be next week, and I'll get confirmation on exactly when from Carlo. But we should have 3 series today, so we should have Dimmu Corvinus versus Luciferon Vortex, which is going to be very fun. We should have Anatan Scatbrain versus B Cat, and then we should have the winners facing off. So plenty still to sink our teeth into. I'm just getting confirmation on exactly when, because I was told, I believe not Kilyadi, so I'm looking at the wrong area. So Kilyadi, Baltoon, Wan, Puppy upper bracket should play next week. And then it will be a case of the lower bracket final, and the finals will happen on the same day, I imagine. So probably another day where we get 3 series. Honestly, I think it's better that way, because like there was a lot, and I mean a lot of schedule to get through, really. Because you essentially had these best of 3s, and then you had a best of 5 lower bracket semi-final, then you had a lower bracket and an upper bracket finals, which are best of 5s, and then you had a best of 7 grand finals. So to be fair, honestly, like when you say it out loud about the schedule, it was probably going to need an extra day. It's kind of insane to even imagine that would all be done in a day. So yes, penultimate day. Da, 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 da. But let's boot up now, because I think the boys are getting ready soon for the Dimmu Corvinus versus Luciferon Vortex series. Hello, Just Take. How's it going, bud? And then tomorrow, of course, we have got the EGSA event. And with the EGSA event, I'm just going to keep saying it like that because it just sounds so cursed. 1 second. Wait, where's my... So, with the EGSA event, I think we'll probably look to do, like, maybe Anatan versus Dimmu. Honestly, I'll pull the schedule up so you guys can see. Just double checking game. The boys aren't in game, right? They shouldn't be yet. I like to just be safe. Like a bank, baby. I like how I don't even get results showing up. This Corv is a live cast? Yes. Although it doesn't matter. Like, come on. Do you enjoy the game or you do not? What's up, Camian? Thank you very much for the gifted sub, buddy. Appreciate you. Thank you. Thank you. All right, so for the weekend, I don't know what's happening on Sunday yet, but on Saturday, I don't care about all this crap. Although I do like its open cast series. Wait, are they? I mean, they're not specifically saying you couldn't cast this if you didn't want to, but we'll probably try to mix it up anyway. But technically, like, is there any series here I'm like outrageously must see? Maybe Luciferon Puppy Pool. I don't know. I think there's some good ones here. Like Anatan Dimmu, I think is going to be quite intriguing. So that might be our 2 GMT series. And then Luciferon versus Numidan has my eyes, actually. Like, but Puppy Pool Louis, oh, dude, there's 2 really good series there. I think probably Louis Puppy Paw is the one we go for, though, because, like, I think Numidan can step up and kind of come close to slaying Luciferon, or maybe even do it. I think he has recently. But, like, Louis MT, that's the big question mark. Like, is he back? And then Why is this like the zoom is weird? And then down here, Corvinus versus Numidan might actually be very entertaining. I could see Corvinus Numidan being quite an entertaining one to tune into there. And then rounding out the day would probably be Wham Kilyadi, because Kilyadi has been like top ranking on the leaderboard at the moment. So I'm actually quite interested to see how he can perform there. So yeah, I think we have a plan there for Saturday, and we'll see what Sunday provides. All right, where are we at? One sec, I'm just double checking. Draft underway. Okay, so game number 1. Where's the map draft, actually? I'm confused by where the map draft... I don't think there's a map draft. I think they just choose what map they want is the way that Carlos has done this. So game 1, though, this is the best of 3. It's going to be Vortex Lucifron using French Byzantine, so likely Lucifron on the French. Vortex always seems to be the Byzantine player there. And I think we know who's going to be playing Knights Templar from Corvinus Dumu. Dumu's going to be supporting with Jeanne d'Arc. Yeah, so... nothing unusual, nothing we haven't seen before out of them. They've ran the Jean Knights Templar combo, I think, twice at least. I'm pretty sure we caught one of their very fast games yesterday where they done it. That was the one where, if you guys remember, Corvinus played a long Dark Age, and then Dumu just started spamming Knights with Jean to dominate the game. So yeah, really nice pass of the baton strat. One sec, I just realized actually I'm kind of running out of space on my hard drive, so I very quickly need to delete some stuff. Let's just delete all this crap. I really need to, I think I need to get an extra little under-desk rest thing so that I can basically have a second mouse connected for my laptop and just sit it there. That'd probably be a good idea, yeah. Alright, so let's just exodus a bunch of crap there. And then I need to go local recording. We can get rid of all those. Nice. I have space again. Wee wee wow wow wow. Lots of space, actually. You guys know Gothic? Can't say how famous it is. So, I've heard of it before, but I never played Gothic as a child. I know they just released a remake, a remaster. Not sure how popular it's going to be, per se. But, that wasn't my childhood, so I can't really speak to it. Then again, you guys, we had this the other day. You guys didn't play Hooligans as kids, so, I'm not going to judge your childhood too harshly. Clearly, you missed out on the best games, but, you at least had some things that I didn't experience too. I don't know. How many people in chat experienced Europa Universalis 2? Man, that makes me feel old to say. I saw a copy of that in the store today I could have bought, but it's £15. I was like, it's not even that special looking of a disc case. I think I'm going to pass. It's not like I actually want to play Europa Universalis 2. That game is very, very, very outdated at this point. Why do we get a lot of mirror civs in 2v2s? Because the expectation is very similarly aligned with what's strong, right? So you get a lot of French in particular because French is powerful. Depending on the map, Malians can rate very highly. It's just the ebb and flow of things because obviously, especially in a best of 3, and a lot of these have been best of 3s, you want to put your best foot forward out of the gate because if you fail, you're now at risk of elimination, right? So French is a very obvious go-to. So most of the time, we are just seeing both sides pocket the French because it's the GOAT. It's literally the #1 civ for 2v2s. And yeah, this one's best of 3. And then the next round afterwards is best of 5. One sec. Are we in the game yet? No, they're in lobby now, so we should be starting momentarily. That does give me a moment to quickly respond to an email that just came in marked urgent. Then again, I find some of the brands I talk to intentionally just label urgent. I've had one was we need you to respond by this day, and it's 2 days from now. I'm like, that's not gonna happen. I'm like, let me just be blunt about this. Rushing us ain't gonna get the answer quicker like you think it is. Okay. So... calculator. Strongest performer. Alright, they'll probably respond quite quickly. The boys are getting game. Ring-a-ding-ding-ding-ding. No margin for error? Exactly. Sorry, I went a little bit silent there. I was trying to be professional. You know what you do? Like, you give away what you're typing about entirely. You be one of those people that, like, annotates the typing in the back. I think I'm speaking to you right now to see if it is possible for us to potentially do this thing. Does anyone know someone that does that unironically, actually? All right. Let's get ready to go. Ladies and gentlemen, last time I saw these two match up and it featured Knights Templar, Corvinus ran away the victor. That's right, Corv is back again in the Power Pink on Knights Templar, this time in 2v2s. Last I saw him up against Vortex, it was a 1v1 where he beat the Spaniard, but now we got reinforcements. Vortex in the orange, playing as the Byzantines. His teammate is none other than his brother Lucifron in the yellow, French. And on the other side, rounding it out, it is Lord Voldemort himself, not yet come to die. It's Dumu in the lower bracket, trying to stay alive in the purple in a best-of-3 showdown against one of the most popular and favorited teams to win team tournaments. Map is going to be Dry Arabia, and aggression is going to be swift and zealous, as Corvinus is looking to cook up a whole new meta for Knights Templar. A Dark Age Civ for the ages. And this is cool. Look at what he's got to work with. Vortex with the gold and the stone on top of each other. Needs to be fast on the gathering rate. He should have enough time here if he pivots away from the stone to gather the gold. Otherwise, it's going to be a little bit tight. And I think, yeah, he did scout this out, so he knows it's coming. Well played. That's why he's on gold so early. Otherwise, you just kind of stick on stone and inflate more of these system levels. Lucifron, already, of course, rushing onto the gold himself. Doesn't want to turn it into a pivot point where one player gets harassed and then another one gets hit as well. And in terms of game strats, this seems to be the bread and butter for Corvinus and Dumu. They tried it the other way around the other day, and it backfired. So the strategy is quite simply that Corvinus is playing Space Trader in the Dark Age, and then Dumu is playing a bit more greedy for the fast feudal, and then he switches on the aggression, and then Corvinus gets the defensive baton of like, I'm going to maybe 2TC, I'm going to bulk up, or whatever. The game where they tried it a different way was where Corvinus straight up went greed, and then Dumu straight up went greed with a little bit aggro, and then Dumu ended up with 9 workers at 20 minutes into a game, which, if you're new to Age of Empires 4, that doesn't even happen in gold lobbies. It's pretty bad to have 9 villagers at 20 minutes. Yeah, he got completely thrown to the wolves. So, Spinman production is going to continue. It's not going to stop at 3. I mean, you get value out of them, right? You're up against French, so there is a merit to it. I imagine he's going to be thinking about an outpost here. In fact, he's already gathering the wood on the side, so he's keeping the worker around so he has that flexibility to head over if necessary. Oh, and I forgot. Predictions. You wonderful people need your predictions, don't you? Let me just go ahead. Game 1. And I'll just put Corvinus and Vortex in, so it's simple for you guys to track. You've got 2 minutes. Predictions start now. Skull Cav coming through. Looking at the spawn, back deer is really nice. Yeah, even though there's this Dark Age play, Lucifron doesn't hesitate to go for the deer after he notices what's happening. Might get punished a little, though. As Corvinus, Mr. Power Pink, is starting to move around the back. Yeah, and he's camping the additional golds. Can he get good placement? I think he can. If he brings double spear here, it gets really annoying for Lucifron. Triple spear should force him away, I'd say, entirely. John, of course, a little bit slow on the tech up, but that's to be expected. What's a little bit surprising here is that Jean didn't start on the deer tool, but then you see the placement and it makes sense, right? the deer was forward spawn, and it was pretty far forward. Oh, this front. Villages the shivs out. He used to get running, gets the stab low, but I'm gonna get the kill. Oh. Wait, what? The scat... Corv? Oh no, guys. I mean, that was meant to be Giga Brain, but you know how they say, like, stupidity and genius is just a thin layer between it? So what he was doing there is Corvinus sent the scout in, I think, to bait attacks from the town center, so the spearman that was low HP would be able to dive and get the kill. Didn't work out, because, of course, he disengaged and forgot about his scout entirely. But one spear down. Villagers been chilling so far. And, oh, the outpost, it gets cancelled. Corvinus, he's built a hell of a lot of spears, right? It's up to 7 total, but he built 8, I believe, in full. Starting to dive the TC a bit here. I think he understands, like, the timing gets a bit weird here. If you recommit to the outpost, there's now kind of a risk because you're still waiting for the drop-off. And you know that Dumu's building knights. And although you have spearmen, the Dark Age spears, you know, this is like saying, look, it's okay if we get into a bar fight because I brought a knife. And the person saying that to you is like a 4-year-old infant that can barely hold the combat. Right? Like, at that point, I'm less worried for them, and I'm more worried that that dear little child is going to hurt themselves. So, Corv gets the final wood drop off on his way merrily with that outpost. But the knight is coming in now. In fact, with Vortex having spears here, he can make this really annoying. Yeah, not just that. Corv doesn't know yet. Oh, the patience. They're syncing up. So he's going to wait probably until about 75% and then bait. There you go. So he gets the pull. And now the knight goes in. Great coordination. The spears do pull back, though. But Corvinus has to bail. Sick 1-2 dance there. And the Limitane even getting the knight with the touch. That's -1 villager. So in sync. Oh my god. It's almost like they're brothers. Wait a second. I mean, it just shows that they've been playing games together for years, right? I feel like there's a lot of top players that you put in 2v2s, and the comms probably wouldn't be that granular. But you see how it can be valuable. That was sick. -1 worker. Corvinus now building outpost on his side. Hasn't gone on the stone. Oh, he's doing the axe throw build again. Yeah, he went Antioch. So there's going to be mass axe throws coming out. We saw him do this yesterday, actually. And it was pretty damn effective. I think that was against the Belarus, if I'm not mistaken. Should have towered early instead of going for Lucy's deer. He could have, but I think the idea wasn't terrible. It's just for him, he wanted enough spears to be threatening. I think, like, in hindsight, maybe the problem is, like, the tower is just ever so slightly close, or, like, the spears needed to be poking earlier before more villagers moved across towards the berries, right? I don't know, it's kind of weird, because, like, I think the problem... I can understand the problem from Corvinus's POV, which is if you try to outpost drop here, it's going to get full aggression. But if you outpost here early, your opponent might go for a weird Grand Winery Lucer. I don't know. Probably not when I say it out loud like that. I mean, we missed the first pull, right? Because it got force cancelled. I feel like that cancel probably shouldn't be happening. But Akratoy is a hell of a strong strat, remember. I don't think... my point in the end is I don't think 1 spear diff would have mattered. And I know he sent more spears south side. But I also feel like letting Lucifron get a free tech up is even worse for that villager. So the idea of, like, harassing the deer isn't terrible. I don't know. Maybe I'm over-defending the choice. I understand the criticism of it. But, like, the whole merit in Dark Age rushes and 2v2s is that you can potentially attack 2 players, not 1. Now, Limitane able to deny the racks. I don't like the axe throw strat here, chat. You got a lot of melee armor, but you're against Lombos now? Yeah, but I think the idea here is all about feeding Dumu, right? Like, we saw this yesterday, that Corvinus was willing to throw away his entire army to get Jean level 3. That seems to be what the win condition is with the strat. I don't feel like tower rushing is not that good. Well, it's that tower rushing is a diplomatic state, right? If you guys have any proof of this, Mr. described it so well on a cast once with me, where he's like, if you drop a tower that is so good that it is like God's gift to Earth, your opponent's going to do everything possible to stop that tower, and he will stop it. It's just the natural nature of villager bulk early on and how economics work. So you have to choose a tower and a timing around it that annoys your opponent but doesn't end their game. Because if it feels like it's going to end their game, you've backed them into a corner. It's all that classic what happens when you back someone in the corner. They'll do anything to get out. The Axe Throwers here are quite nice against Limitane, actually. Like, it's a mixed bag. I think they get completely screwed over by Lombos, but I love it against the Limitane. My concern is the way this plays out is if Corvinus is only building Axe Throwers and Lucifron is building Knights, that mirrors your teammates' Knights. That then leaves Longbow Spear. And the way this should play out is that Corvinus can only kill half of that. He can kill the spears, right? What worries me so much about that is that the Longbows have insane range by comparison. Like, look at the step up here. Moves in with the snipes. Could even think about sniping Jean right now, actually. Would be a pretty good idea. Instead, he just focuses on the Axe Throwers. They're feeding a lot of XP over, actually. Axe Thrower count is getting pretty low. Limitane count almost fully erased. Never bothered with the Jean kill at all. That's actually crazy. What? Look at the XP chart. 365 out of 500 because of that. I mean, was that worth? Because, guys, with Jean there, she has no ranged armor. This Archer Ball is at, what, 11? So 7 damage. 77 damage. So you can kill Jean in 3 volleys, right? That's pretty scary. Sure, she has Divine Restoration, but, like, the difference is you could kill 4 extra Axe Throwers or kill Jean. I think in Vortex and Lucifron's mind, they were going to win that fight more convincingly so that Jean's XP chart didn't matter. But now, you see how they completely flip the script? They go, okay, Jean is getting very close to level 3. We've shrunk the Axe Thrower force so it's not snowballing. Let's just back up and let's tech. And it looks like both of them are considering it, considering Lucifron's scale in his economy. 18 on food. He has switched 12 to gold, so it could be possible he just adds in more knights. I kind of prefer that here, because Dimmu didn't really lose too many knights either, as most of the spears were already dead. Golden Horn Tower on the way. Level 3 on the Cistern, so not going to be the fastest escalation of Longbow count, but the veterancy alone is a big deal here. You know, I said Jean dies in 3 hits. It's going to be like close to 2, I think, at this count. Actually, it's 15 Longbows now, so 2-hit kill, I believe. Well, he goes up to 9 damage, right? So 9 damage on 15 ends up being 135. Jean will die in 2 hits. Seriously. Level 2 Jean is just so depressingly bad against castle timing civs, right? It's why when, if you guys remember, when Jean first came out, what was the meaningfully easy way of beating her every time? It was fast castle. And you could usually do that by just dropping an outpost as well. Lucifron. How are we looking here? 17 knights. He actually has got a slight lead over Dimmu. Oh, he can creep in there. That's big. That's big. He's got the +1 damage. It's going to be a guaranteed kill. Yep, 1 worker down. Nicely played there. Any little counts here, because remember, Jean doesn't build villagers quicker. Now, outpost south side. Love the ball play coming in from Lucifron. Greedy, but they have the army. And now the Vet Lombos in position. Veterancy for Limitane hasn't quite completed yet, but Jean is down! Like, this is why I wouldn't want to be a Jean picker, man. I don't know. Like, people who say they struggle with Jean, I put this to you. The Jean pickers might be having fun with you, but the moment they get to Conk, they ain't having fun anymore. Case and point. Historically, Sergeant called Brother Sergeants. Oh, that'd be a nice little adaptation. I mean, I'm all for changing things in logical ways. Like, Hospitaller Knights doesn't make sense. Because although that's a name, it's confusing in-game. Flash coming underneath the tower. It's also that raid on the side. It's still not being noticed. Dimmu, wakey, wakey. Level 3 Jean is in. But I'm more worried about this clash here. Lombo's target firing down the Axe Throwers. He did lose the spears, so Vortex needs to be a little bit careful here. But they didn't notice. They finally got the kill, but look at the cost. 4 workers going down over here. It's a 20-worker lead now for the Spaniards. Lombos. Gonna start a retreat. Gotta be careful of those axe throwers. Need to be careful of this Cataphract, actually. Cataphract could chase onto Jean with quite a lot of ease. I'm also just worried that your knights die to bows now. The only upside right now for Dumu is that Vortex doesn't have +2 damage. But once he's there, 10 damage against the measly free armor, because red alert here, Dumu didn't get the armor. Yeah, no +1. So even with that extra damage not being there, he's taking 2/3 of the damage that Lombos do. And behind this, I'm assuming there's going to be relics coming into the equation soon for Vortex. Hasn't queued up monks just yet. The Corvinus has reached castle. Probably going to be looking for the veterancy on his axe throwers. Yep, just queued it up. Knights going for a charge. Lombo's probably overkilling at this stage. And I love that detail. Do you see what Dumu done there? He's burning his charge of divine arrows to get rid of the longbows because it's enough damage to insta-kill. That's much better than killing a knight here because the bow DPS is so high. Divine restoration has to be used though. And with Cataphracts littered in, I think this is where it gets a bit scary. Then again, the coordination not quite there with the bros. And we are getting Angevin spears. So he goes Antioch into Angevin. Pretty potent for that melee damage. What make of the knight, the horse, or the armor? I'm pretty sure the queen, actually. Yeah, there's like a miniature like queen inside every knight. I don't know how she got there. Stone being gathered. Corvinus thinking about 2TC or a castle? Castle could be cool towards like the 8k. Like this area is super high value. 8k, Sacred Site, double relic in range. You're already gathering deer behind, but it's very far upfield. Flash on the side, still happening. I like this because it keeps forcing Corvinus to react away from his base. So the infantry players are arriving pretty late. Combos are struggling a bit to get those kills now. Is it still an insta-kill? It might be a little bit short. Axe throw is hitting for a lot of damage. 15 damage. All melee charge as well. Dumu, Lucifron, still no signs of teching up. I mean, they're both locked at this point. But that's really bad for Lucifron because Dumu's just scaling more XP. Look at this. He's halfway to level 4. Oh, man. Dude, it's not even about castle for either of these civs right now. And I just wonder what Lucifron's edge is. Like, he has got a worker lead for sure. Economically, they're ahead. But Jean de Blast, we've seen, can do quite a lot. That being said, number lead, a little bit worrisome. The heavy spears are pretty tricky. 6 ranged armor means that the Lombos don't do too much there. Yeah, heavy spears is their stabilizer. Nice. Forced away here. Divine Restoration does get pumped. Nice snipe down there. More XP coming in. He's farming up a storm. Almost 1,000 out of the 1,500 to get there. Jean ready to rise up like a phoenix, but she don't even need to be resurrected this time. No one is trying to kill her. Account getting pretty low though. Yeah, Dumu now behind by 6 knights. In fact, it's going to get worse than that. The Cataphracts just carrying the damage here to allow for this. And the Longbows with the snipes. That's sick. He's eradicating every piece of Dumu's army. I think they're broken, guys. Like, this is so well played. The crazy part about what Vortex and Lucifron are doing is you'd normally expect your approach to be to take out one player and then the other one. But look at the army count. They've disintegrated both players at the same time. Vortex. Props to the playing the Cataphracts. I think a lot of people get complacent and they go, well, my teammate's building knights. Why would I build knights? Because they're so stupidly tanky. 360 HP, 190. You are almost exactly 2 times the HP of a feudal knight. And you have more armor, so you're more tanky. I think that really was the deal breaker, right? Like, how do you get rid of these quick? And it's not like the XP difference from the kill matters, right? Because although he's eventually going to get to level 4, when you compare a Cataphract dying to level 2 Jean, it's an insane injection of XP. But when you talk about level 3 to level 4 Jean, it's a third as impactful. Call for 2TC? Yeah, but look at Lucifron now. Punches his ticket. Moving up to the third age, Royal Institute on the way. Farm count also looking really good for Vortex. And also he does have level 5 system. No, level 4 still. Interesting. So a small detail that does actually matter here because it is slowing down the rate at which he scales bombos. Also, what do you get out of 2TC here? Like, yes, you build more villages, but do you have enough resources between you? That's what would scare me a bit here. Also, it's a Ford town center. I'm glad he's building a castle behind this, because otherwise that would be death. And I don't think they realized he was building a castle, actually. So, really, really important moment there for Corvinus. Second ball being played into... neither of the French play. Okay, no. Lucifron is going farms. So yeah, that's another concern for Dimmu then, right? Like food is becoming not so bountiful, right? Like the access to food is kind of getting low for Dimmu. Yeah, Purple has to be careful of that. Outposts do get scouted, but the mirrored move coming in from the Knights. And remember, Dimmu has plastic Knights. He can't touch that fight. Yeah, not without assistance from his Castle Age teammate. In fact, Dimmu is now becoming the liability. Yeah, almost 2k gold in reserve, not enough food. And he was just in the middle of a farm trap. Okay. Bake him like a cake, boys. Moving even deeper. Cataphracts do find the workers. Army is on the way. That gets scouted early. But he's camped here. Knights are going to charge from behind. Veteran Limitane. Try to get in the way. Level 4 Jean does feel imminent here. Trying to avoid the sandwich, but now Yellow Knights arrive, and they are going to rock big. Royal Bloodlines in just 5 seconds to try and break it all. Upgrade completes. Extra 80 HP on each of these Knights. And the Land Snake! Get a few hits, just a few cleaves! They are going to get sniped down quick. Thank goodness for that. The Longbows making quick work of that Sergeant line, and love that. Vortex now splits into 2 different groups to kind of micro. Got to be careful getting too close to the Knights. Lucifron buying a lot of space with that. Level 4 Jean is problematic, but she also needs an army to command. And I am seeing a lack of volunteers, folks. 28 to 63 military. And now the warrior feeding Jean is gone. See, this is the thing. You guys, you misunderstood your gold rank players and your silver rank players who were feeding Jean. And he was like, don't feed level 4 Jean. You're wrong. They were de-stressing the situation because once she's level 4, XP doesn't do anything. So you might as well just, like, at that point, you don't care. Just dive in, kill everything, including her baby cannon. Yeah, and also it's range on, so your advantage don't have to be close. Disadvantage is you don't have any melee armor. Oh, God. If he loses this, it makes sense why Dimmu has 2k gold in reserve because he's going to have to spend half of that to get her back. Yeah, she's not cheap. But at this point, Dimmu down to 29 workers after all that fighting in his base and the butchering. 2 Knights over here finding most of the gold workers. Treeline does get left alone. But this looks cooked. Level 4 Jean, not so impressive. But look at that, guys. This is why you save 2,000 gold, to buy her back. Yeah, Corvinus is just not really online. I don't know, this passing the baton was a cool idea, but it just feels like Corvinus' Dark Age didn't get anywhere near enough damage done. So then the fact that he was kind of slow to scale in the second age, I guess you could argue, meant that they didn't have the overwhelm that Jean looks for. But clean execution in the early game by the Spaniards. That is how you want a teammate to sync up with you. Okay, only game 1 though. So there will be a chance to strike back. Let me see what we've got for next game, actually, out of the boys. What team is DS? Not a big team. I think they're an Age of Empires 2 team that was made by some Age of Empires 2 players when I had a look the other day. So it was, let me find it, Darkside. So Darkside, it was founded by Beery. He was an inactive Argentinian player. But in terms of the current active roster, they've got Hoang, they've got Stone Please AoE. I don't think there's any other top rankers. But like most of those are AoE 2 guys, right? And then obviously they have Vortex for Age of Empires 4. Yeah. I would be surprised if it's a org that has like a salary or anything like that. But, you know, guess it doesn't do any harm to have a tag. Okay, so let me have a look-see here. Also, where's my friends list? Guys, I swear I have friends. I swear. All right, draft now in. It's going to be Vortex and Lucifron picking Macedonian Malians, and Corvinus, Dimu have gone English French. Would this be Rocky River? No, I mean, I don't think you wouldn't do Gorge with Malian Macedonian, right? Actually, you could. I think it's Anatand and Scatterbrain tried it yesterday. We haven't had many English picks on Gorge, though, surprisingly. But like, the idea is pretty cool, right? Because on a map like Gorge, the two front players start very close together, so English infantry balls can move pretty fast. Ing French, that's an old combo. Yerp. We've had it, I think, once before so far in the tournament, and that was the Canadians. It didn't end well. People already know how to counter English French. It's been a very long time. It plays different. You'd be surprised how effective English can be when given a little bit of space now, I think. But I don't think you play aggressor. I think usually you want to be more the defender. Especially depending on like what your opponents are playing. Like if it's a Night Civ, but it's Mali and Macedonian. So there is an argument that you can get to attack because you've got a teammate playing French, which means you've got the best cavalry unit, full stop. And English have one of the best bow units, full stop. I don't expect that to be the case. I think this is going to be Dumu trying to aggro and Corvinus trying to boom again. But like the problem is Vortex and Lucifron have a Macedonian plus Malians. If they full cav, they can dive. Not many people gambered. Rip. I mean, you've got a little bit of gamber in there, though. There you go. It's Gorge. We're going to find out. In le moment. Reminder, by the way, to get that Opera GX downloaded. I'm checking the tab. I'm noticing a lack of downloads. Do you guys not like ad-free viewing? Do you not like built-in VPNs? Do you not like sick backgrounds and weird fart noises when you press any key on your keyboard? What's wrong with you people? Exclamation mark Opera GX. All right, so I think they're on the right side. We'll find out. By the way, the RGX mode upscaler thing, that was a recommendation from the community members, so shout out to them for that. Apparently, it does improve the quality of live streams. You're a Firefox guy? Why? Are you a developer? I'm gonna be real with you. Like, there's only one reason to really need Firefox, and it's because you're a developer testing things. It's the best environment for devs. Also, fun little tinfoil hat realization for you. You do realize that if Google wants, they can kill Firefox instantly. Yeah, I don't know if you... Like, have I told you guys this story that because Firefox is community funded, something like 85% of their funding comes from Google. Because Google uses it as proof that they're not anti-competitive. But if one day they decide to stop funding it... Oh, also, Firefox. Yeah, Firefox has its uses for sure. But yeah, Opera by the way, very easy to pick up because it does have a quick import feature that's supported by all the other browsers. So, let's get ready to go. Can we get predictions sorted, please? We got moderators. Oh, let's change song as well. Macedonians suck. There, I said it. In team environments, they have not been looking good. One and all, welcome back to the channel, to the 2v2 tournament, where the Spaniards face off against the expats. That's right. Spain's best. Spain's best. We've got Vortix and Lucifron. Vortix in the red as the Malians. Lucifron on the front as the yellow Macedonians. And in their way is none other than the combined efforts of the 100-Year War. Corvinus playing in the power pink as the English. And ironically, the Englishman himself playing as the French. What a betrayer to his entire country. In the purple, it is Lord Baltimore, a.k.a. Dumu. And we are on Gorge. The best team play map in Age of Empires 4. Let's get to it. Oh, this is going to be fun. English, French. And it is a forward spawn English player. The reason that makes it more intriguing is there is the possibility of an all-in attack instead of a TC boom. I don't know if we're going to get it, but it would be kind of interesting to see him try, especially against Macedonians. I guess my only worry here is, do you not have to contest double Cav Civ? Mali Macedonians could just focus on getting double Cav up, right? I don't know if you'd fast castle successfully against an all-in if you're the front-facing Macedonian player, though. Ink French Dream Team, I think is a combo that works quite nicely currently. English received some good buffs, guys. Men-at-Arms getting the buff they did significantly improved English. Also, the King's Palace was made a little bit better. I think it's a civ that has a lot of disgustingness about it when it's allowed to get to late game. And in theory, there's a lot more opportunities to get to late game in team games than there are in 1v1s, right? At least in the current meta. Yeah, King's going to be on the way. The cool thing about this King as well, syncs up incredibly well with the French. Because French Knights can get healing, but it's expensive. And instead, you could just get cheaper healing, right? It's not as effective, but the whole idea is the King doesn't cost you anything. And because Chivalry is like 500 resources, it allows you to produce 2 more Knights early on. So you just keep scaling your aggressive line without having to sacrifice anything. And then after a delay, you can go for the healing eventually. And that just gives you a full rejuve, right? So the whole idea is like early on, focus on just getting Knight count high. And then go back for Chivalry, still having the King. And just have an insane ability to dive in, leave, get heals, go back in again. I think with that combo in mind, I don't know if Lucifron and Vortix would want to directly attack it. Because their attack would be Horseman and Sofa. I think instead maybe it makes more sense to play Infantry Mali and then kind of semi-fast castle Macedonians, right? I have to see the Abbey a bit far forward. No, it doesn't matter about the Abbey. The King will heal allies, right? That's the point. So when Knights are running over here, they're basically going to have a Chivalry, discount Chivalry for free. Because the King will be with them. It requires a bit of micro, but let's be real. Corvinus is going 2 TC. What else does he need to micro? Building villages? Ooh. Sorry, I felt like that was an indirect dig. Some players, you don't always build villages. Hey, if there's anything Vortix is teaching us, is that producing villages 100% of the time is overrated. 2 TC on Gorge? You know how I didn't judge it? That's because I've already seen it work for Malians, actually. I'd love to see Vortix do the same, but I don't think it fits his playstyle. So just the other day, we had Baltoon do it actually in upper brackets, and it looked sick. 2 town center Malians into a Farimba Mass Musafadi strat. English could do something similar where they 2 town center into Mass Men-at-Arms with some spears. Yeah, I imagine timing-wise, spears would just make more sense from the Men-at-Arms. Even then, it's pretty potent. And body block sync. This is what I mean about these two. They've done the same thing in game number 1 when they timed their attack to get a kill on a worker. And they just done it again. I haven't seen any other team sync up quite like this early on. Why Lucifron has a lot of resources? Because he's going for Castle Age. It's a Macedonian player. What did you want him to do? Not build his best unit? Come on. Yeah, and there's no pressure point that you can apply to stop that, right? Scout sees what's happening on the other side, but the Knights, they're nowhere near here. No, they're checking for the enemy combatants, but they just missed it. Hippodrome Scout sneaks out. Horseman hides in the Stealth Forest. Well played there by Lucy. Vortex, he's adding in the cow. Yeah, 1 ranch full and a 4th cow already. What team's DS? It's the Nintendo team. Yeah, when you load up Vortex's screen, stream now, he just appears off of screen and then licks the camera, and then you get to control him. God, is it sad to realize that there may be someone young enough in chat not to know what Nintendogs is? Nah, that can't be a thing. No, there's no way. There's no way. We ain't that old yet. You know what Fist System of Hill would be bunker? Wait, what? Are you okay there? Did you just have a heart attack? Oh, nice snipe though. You found a worker. Ooh, might get a second. Pulling back that time. Raxes are coming in now from Vortex. They're just going to poke towards the house instead. He's in range of the TC, but it's just a scout. It's not the end of the world. I like that. So what Doom is trying to do here is a pretty popular strategy when you play aggro. When you see your opponent is close by with workers, but you see you have someone to hit, you just keep hitting so that the ping alerts go off. And the whole idea is you're basically trying to numb your opponent into not looking. Because they hear ping, like I did there, oh, what's happening? Nothing really happening. Oh, I hear a ping, you keep hearing pings, and you get to the point where you stop looking at it. But also, if they keep attacking that location, you just assume they stayed there, and then after like 3 or 4 pings, it stops anyway. And that's usually when they strike. So like most players, most pro players, they have the timing down of how long it takes for the notifications to stop going on them ping something. And that's when they usually strike, because that's the moment where you stop thinking about it. So Lucifer, H3. Vortex adding in the Javelin Spears. So here have the potential for Farimba down the line. 2 TC for Corvinus. It's doing alright. Farm cluster's already having to come in. And now they have to deal with Ridari threats. Yeah, first one queued up. Ridari wins this easy? You'd think. But I'm pretty sure, and chat, correct me if I'm wrong, this is the combo we had from the Belarusians the other day. Didn't end very well. The problem I found with Macedonians in 2v2s is it does feel a little bit slow. Building an army, that is. Like, you know, this is a civ that should already be outnumbered. They thrive on quality versus quantity. But if there's a rule of thumb in RTS as old as RTS itself, it's that more crap beats less crap. And it definitely has held true against Macedonia so far. Okay, so behind this, what have we got? We've got a stun gathering. Did we move 2 TC maybe? Nah, just maybe some fortifications or... Well, he's not attacking, right? So it's not like he's prepping for a castle drop. This would be quite early if he's prepping for a castle drop. Do love the Pro Scouts detail, though. Very greedy, but I think they understood that if only one of them attacks the Spaniards, they're not going to be able to do too much damage. There's no all-in. So better to just focus on raiding and get a bit of greed for both. My game was Ridari versus Camels, though. Was it Camels in that game that was against them? Well, oh, yeah, you're right, Camel Lancers. But I think in that game, they actually, like, the Ridari lost more to the... Like, fun fact for you. If you have Irbid versus Macedonians, I haven't seen it since the most recent patch, but Macedonians can win that with just Knights versus Cam Lancers. The thing that killed him was all the Musafadi, if you remember. The Musafadi as well is what made it impossible. Because I think both players done that, right? No. I'm going to have to go back and might refresh my brain. The point remains the same, though. Like, Rudari struggle when they're outnumbered. If you give them a straight-up fight with a knight here, they'll win. If you give them a straight-up fight with a camel, they'll win. Like, the bubble popped for me when we cast a game in Frisian Marshes where the guy just built Rudari and the other player had better economy and only built camels. And the camels lost. It wasn't even close. But where I've seen Macedonians feel weaker in team games is you don't necessarily get the same amount of time to get your silver tiers up. That's how they win that in a 1v1. But in a team environment, because the military count collectively gets big so fast, you don't get as much breathing room to spam out your tiers. And yes, the camels do debuff the Varangian, but there's multiple details involved in that, right? Varangians attack quicker than standard knights. They have higher base damage being able to be achieved off of the melee techs and things like Raw Fire. They also have substantially more health than standard knights, right? They start with 230, but they scale quickly on the armor, the melee armor, as well as the health. The thing you have to realize at this stage, this is like a 10% debuff extra compared to what other civs have with the 2 melee armor. He can cap it at 4 extra melee armor in castle, which, fun fact, if a knight is hitting for mid-20 damage, that's almost a 20% extra debuff to the damage output, right, of a camel against you. So when you think, and then you add in the fact that camel lancers start with 2 less base damage than standard knights. So like, it adds a lot of details of why camels don't win that. But like, enough about the camels. We've got knights here. French knights, surely, if anything, can win. I mean, Dimmu just needs to get the age up is the problem. He could prep really nicely for a Royal Institute here because Dimmu's approach of overgathering gold actually perfectly sets him up for tech timings into Royal Bloodlines and Veterancy for knights. Which is a pretty nice combo. And there you go, Royal Institute on the way. Army size is pretty similar, actually. I don't know, man. I haven't felt the Wrath and Fury of Vortex so far. He went Fulani, didn't he? Yeah. So he hasn't put himself on a timer. He's going for bloat instead. Interesting. But makes sense, right? The game where this went wrong, where it was Malian and Macedonians, if you remember what happened in that game is that the Malian player broke himself trying to control the map, and the Macedonian player still wasn't ready. This way, Vortex is still Zerg. The quality of his Zerg is lower, but it's more lasting because he has better food gen. Burn on the TC in the meantime. Yeah, I've got veterancy for those spears. Dario starts to pick off a few, pulling back from it. So trying for that burn through. Age up complete. Every player in the game now in age 3. Gotta be careful if you're Dimmu though, because you don't have your veterancy yet. The White Tower, I don't know, man. Like, so you're to the point of why would you White Tower here instead of here? Like, how do you White Tower here? It's too far forward. You need your garrison slots, 15 slots, right? On top of that, once you do resecure the area, you can build farms around here. I think the TC, trying to protect that TC is ambitious with the White Tower. And in fairness to him, he's doing a good job of just delaying this. The problem is, they haven't really killed anything. He's keeping the TC alive, but when you look at the military count, they're just melting. Yeah, Corvinus is just not a player anymore. He's an NPC farming. And Dimmu doesn't really have that representation of knights you want to see. He's got less Royal Knights than Rudari. He also has got the castle drop coming on the back, so that's going to give him a discount. But my concern here is that Vortex and Lucifron have optimized their timing. Right? Like, the idea of this discount kicking in and French economy gradually being better and blah, 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 blah isn't really there. Because the game hasn't gone long enough. All right, Macedonians maybe not a pile of crap in team games. Maybe we just didn't have a good representation of the games we saw. I think the lesson, the takeaway here is, like, to make Macedonians work in team games, you need that synchronicity. You need a player you can really coordinate with. And that's where actually Macedonian pick for the Spanish Bros makes so much sense compared to most other teams. Remember what I said about the tankiness? Look at this. 3 melee armor, 3 ranged armor. He has 7 armor against both damage types. So to my point earlier I was making about a camel comparison, if a camel attacked him right now, the camel would have 210 HP and only 4 armor. He'd do 2 less base damage anyway than 25 sword. Or 24 sword, right? You just... And charge doesn't matter, by the way, because the whole idea that your charge is really strong sucks if I run at you with Rudari. So hopefully that explains why Cam don't tend to perform how you like against Rudari. 1.2k food on Dimu? Yeah, that's because they ran out of gold. He already tapped it. He just dropped his castle here, so now we're in big risk central. I do like the idea, though. Corvinus has shifted his economy there as well. Because if you split, you're just one of you's going to lose a huge chunk of your eco, and then the other one will afterwards. And to their merit, it has worked out. Lucifron and Vortex are on the wrong side of the map. Secret side timer has started ticking, though. Farms. And they're just trying to grind Corvinus down. He's already lost that TC, remember. So any losses here feel kind of permanent. Remember, because it's Fulani, you have to add on about another 20 workers to the Spanish Bros, which means economically they aren't behind. Militarily, they are a mile ahead. Burn onto the TC. He's got the Scout, hasn't he? Yep. Scout Champion's giving buff torch damage. 21 torch damage on every Rudari here. Just going ham on the primary town center. And you see the posturing, but like this doesn't work when Vortex turns up to back up his bro. Knight count is equal, but here's a fun fact for you. Rudari have more health than Royal Bloodline Knights in Castle Age. I'll say again, Rudari got more health than Royal Bloodline Knights. 310 versus 2... Wait, no, my maths. Oh, crap. I got you bait, guys. I clicked on the Hippodrome Rudari. Ignore me, ignore me. We are balanced. We are balanced. Actually, I'm not imagining this right. It used to work that way. Was it 20 more health Rudari had when they came out? So percentage-wise, you could get Royal Bloodline levels with the final tier, right? Yeah, I got baited because Hippodrome Rudari has more health. I clicked on the wrong one. But anyway, 264 HP versus 310. The effective HP is very similar because of the melee and ranged armor difference. Now the burn the white tower. Crossbows are also problematic here. Sack him a bit. Goes in for the recharge. A lot of those French Knights didn't really get their buff off. And now the Sofa arrived from Vortex. It's a flood and overwhelm. Yeah, Corvinus has barely got any troops left over. Javelins are clearing those up. Double mass cav chasing on here. Dumu just trying to scurry away so you can get the heals through. Rudari now commit to the dive again. They are headbutting this white tower hard. Maybe a little bit too... Oh, he's done it again. Okay, Knight reaction is good from Dumu there. He's not going to die that easily. On the main fight, though, he does have a 10 Knight lead now. It's quite impressive, actually. No switch up coming out from Lucifron, but a switch in strategy I do like. They're going for the Trebs. Yeah, because they've still got the lead, right? But they kind of threw a bit of it away by headbutting the white tower. The eco difference is shrinking, though. And that's with no additional TC out of red-yellow. And, oh, hold on a sec. The Sofa. Oh, he finds some workers again. Look at the bodies. -7, -8. It's almost like Corvinus never went to TC, guys. Another clash on the other side. See, the thing about Royal Knights here is I think in a hard commit fight, Rudari can slap you down. But if you keep staggering and poking, French Knights are better because they're healing. Healing is the big problem for Macedonians. They don't really tend to heal. They wear the battle scars with honor, right? And the reason that's like a problem for the French if you get a hard commitment is the French Knights get a buff temporarily off the charge, but Rudari they benefit more as the fight goes on because they can get higher base damage on their strikes. So after the first 3 hits in a battle, they can easily do more damage per slash than a French Knight. So yeah, like, if you are brain dead and you don't want to have to worry about paying attention to playing a fight, play A-Click Macedonia. But if you are like ADHD brain and 400 APM and you have to keep moving your knights, French Knight's kind of better. Does Campfire bait the A move units from range? I'm not sure. I haven't tested that thoroughly. I don't think so. I feel like I've seen some situations where when people run over it willy-nilly, it's almost like they've A-clicked and it hasn't registered. Which would make sense. It would be a very silly objective to A-click into. And, ooh, wait, what? Corvinus just sent it. Yeah, he's moved over to the enemy side now. Surfer Raid's going to get shuttered there. Dimmu, what is he looking for here? I don't think he benefits from rushing Imperial now. If either player goes Imperial, I would expect it to be Corvinus. He has obvious merit to that. Like, Elite Spears is pretty big here. But for the French Knights, because they already have Royal Bloodlines, a lot of the value they get out of the 4th page has already been extracted in the first. Grab to begin. So main base is going to be in trouble. I do like that they flipped the script, and because Vortex and Lucifron slowed down, Dimmu and Corvinus are now trying to use the flanks. They're just like, okay, if you're going to slow siege us, that gives us time to work with. And they are exploiting it. They re-established the worker league. Great find here. A lot of idle time being achieved as Lucifron has to scurrily move all the way back to the main, and he doesn't have farms here. You know, food sources are available north side, but they're already starting to be tapped before he's arrived with the main workers. He needs this south side. Nice charge there. Full commitment though, and we do have Rom Fire now, so 32 damage versus just 26. You see what I mean now? And then of course 7 melee armor versus 6. Good read there by Dimmu, by the way. He actually did go for the melee armor. I feel like it's a slept on detail when I often see this type of matchup, because you get the melee tech for free and you usually focus on range. But melee defense against Radari goes a long way in this script. Okay. Ooh. A siege switch. Corv is trying. He's working overtime to make siege good again. And the White Tower almost down here. Vortex was just committing the dive to prevent the repair crew. Does end up having to retreat. On the flank though. Dari, look at the body count there. What, 3, 4 Radari going down. I think 5, 6 knights. It's a good trade. Needs to be that way as well. And look at the military count now. Lucifron has more angry Vikings on horseback than there are French knights in the game. That is someone you normally would expect to see here. No, but the trades are just getting a bit rough now. Heavily injured knights. Dive towards the Treb. But Radari reinforcements are arriving here. Not a great comp to have to dive. It's crossbow spearman. You can see an opportunity over here. Goes to dive in. Dimmu fishes the kill on the siege. Tries to catch onto the archers, but gonna have to start a step back here. Radari have caught up. A lot of archers. 37 archers. I mean, if the heavy cav isn't here, theoretically his archers can just kill Corvinus' army entirely. And Corv, he gets left behind. There was no call to retreat there. Dimmu just left him. I mean, I don't blame him. I wouldn't fight for you there. Imagine Corvinus on the line. Please help, I'm dying. Dimmu's like, sorry, I didn't hear you. I mean, how do you ever defend that? His knights are so battered. This is the thing that I think Lucifron's doing really well. He will not let go. He's like a man with a grudge. Because he understands any breathing room and French knights win. So he just keeps suppressing them. And now he got the tier 4. Yeah, extra melee armor, extra health. I mean, throwing the towel, right? That's kind of where we're at here. Have they got the economy to keep going? They've got farm set up. They have got gold reserve still, but it is depleting fast. 2,700 left. After that, Dimmu doesn't really have access to gold. Blades again. I mean, does he have relics at least? I don't think he did. Yeah, so he has no way of getting gold. Nor does Corvinus. Neither of them went relics. I think, did red? Yellow would be the obvious one, right? Yeah, he got 5 relics. So his Gucci, Dolce, and Gabbana. He can buy all the bling blings for his Vikings. How this White Tower is still alive, I don't know. What I do know is it ain't gonna be live for long. Stefan. That is crazy. Oh my god. I mean, the good news is at least the torch buff from the scout doesn't affect your allies, is all I'm going to say, because that would break team game. But even without his ally being buffed, each of these Radari does 21 damage. He's got 40 of them. That means he's able to do 800 damage every few seconds with torches, every 2 seconds. And now the backstab attempt. Dimu's just, he can't hold this on his own. He needs a teammate, man. Corv's trying to get crossbows up, which I like. I just don't know if you've got time anymore. Archer crossbows supporting from behind here. A lot of these knights are going to die, even when they try to move away. At this point, Dumu is headlocked to the fight, unless he wants to see Corvinus' army die. The crossbows even getting scared away. That's got to be G. Down to 9 knights, game over. That means Corvinus and Dumu will be eliminated. The Spanish bros looking dominant with a 2-0 victory. Book themselves a day up against either B and Cap or Anatan and Scatterbrain. 07 in chat as well, chat. That means we aren't going to get to see any more Knights Templar 2GC shenanigans. I don't feel like anyone else picks it unless there's water involved. And once again, shout out to Carlos for organizing this tournament. $1,000 on the line, and it really did get a lot of impressive names signed up, actually. More than I was originally expecting when he talked to me about it. All right, I'm checking in if the next set is ready straight away. Because if the next set isn't immediately, it means we can go look at B Cat versus Scatterbrained Anatan. Because I think what he said is they played offline yesterday, so that the Anatan B set wasn't streamed anywhere. The game's results haven't been seen. So if someone spoils it right now, I'm going to beat you with a stick so hard. You've been warned. So depending on what Carlo lets me know, we might have time to go and watch the VODs from that series. Yeah, I realized I've got so many Assassin's Creed games I really need to go play. I was talking to my Ubisoft contact, and I was like, oh yeah, actually, no, there's a lot I haven't played. Still haven't played Odyssey, still haven't played... Was it Origins? Is the Egyptian one? I still haven't played Shadow. And honestly, I barely played Black Flag. So I might sink my teeth into the remaster. I don't want to go play free again, actually. Loved Odyssey? Yeah, I never got a chance to experience it. Which is weird, because I know I'd love it because it's Greece. I'm a huge fan of Greek mythology. That's why like Age of Mythology was just a natural fit for me to do with Red Bull. It wasn't even something that had to be like, I don't know the game, and I'm gonna pretend I do. Like, I loved that game as a kid. I played a lot of that game as a kid. All right, so I'm waiting on a response from Carlo, and while I do, we'll watch one of these games between the CIS teams. One and all, it's a Roos showdown, but there's no Roos in this one. Scatterbrained, Anatan, B, and Cat, a clash of very familiar faces, all familiar with each other's gameplay styles, and balanced teams at that. B and Cat stacking with a green and blue on Malian and Japanese. They're going to be on the north side. And then there's going to be Scatterbrained in the green. Wait, no, this is confusing. It's the wrong green. It is the right way around. Scatterbrained in the green. Wait, no. I'm getting mixed up again. This is why you can't have two greens. World's Edge. God damn it. All right, so let's talk about what's happening in the game. Cat is playing Japan. He's actually gone ahead and played defensive to cover his Malian teammate because Donzos are too expensive. So good blocker against Anatan, who's in the yellow on HRE. Scatterbrained already is aged up in the green as Jean. And I realize the intro of this game may be, to this day, the most confusing intro I've ever given to Age of Empires 4. And you know what I have to say to that? I hate the developers adding a second green. That's all I have to say. So yeah, B or Malians is something of a signature pick, by the way. We're going to be a little bit 2x speed because we've got an upcoming series, so need to be mindful of that. But this guy loves playing as Mali. Always has. I actually think he's one of the most threatening players on Mali because of the innovative approaches. Probably the best player in the game at exploiting different styles of mass sofa feudal builds. So, we have got aggro coming in. Anatan's finally teching up. It is going to be in Mindwork Palace, and a lot of people on it too. He's feeling that idle delay of being behind everyone else. Kura Storehouse also completes for Cat. Ace 2 achieved for Blue. Cat is back. I don't know if he's back, but he's at least playing some games, which is nice to see. It was a bit of a bummer when he just kind of disappeared. Yeah, I'm not getting a response from Carlos. I'm gonna have to keep an eye out for. Okay, guys, we're gonna have to scrap this. They are playing in a sec. Sorry. I mean, we're not gonna have enough time for the whole series, and also that intro made everything so confusing that I'd rather just focus on what we got. So I'm gonna spoil the result. We might go back and watch those games because I can tell you it was a close series, but the 3D clan members did beat Anatan and Scatterbrained. And we have got the draft for game number 1 of Vortex and Cat. This is a best of 5. Cat and B are going to be using Mongol Japanese. Vortex and Lucifron will be using French and Byzantines again. So they're doing the same thing. But yeah, you can see they're in lobby now. So I figured you guys would want the live series over coming in a lot later. I thought we'd have enough time, but I didn't get a response. So I kind of baited myself. All right, what I'll do instead, so that the game that's going to be live won't have anything you guys miss, I'm going to run 1.5 minutes of ads now so they don't play in-game, okay? So thoughtful. Loved Odyssey? Yeah, I think there's... I think my favorite one is still 2. So I played Assassin's Creed 1, 2... Brotherhood, Revelations, Assassin's Creed 3, Unity, and the British one, which I forget the name of. Those are all the ones I played. Oh, and a little bit of Black Flag, but I didn't get like ultra deep into Black Flag is the problem, I think. I don't know, I was just very busy at the time. It happened. There's so many epic things from around those times where I'm like, man, I really should have like played more. Like, Far Cry 3 Blood Dragon. I only played the intro level, but I called it absolute god tier. And I kind of regret not going back and playing the rest of the game. If you guys haven't played it, it's a very ironic and kind of mocking take on games from like that 90s, 2000s era. It also just it completely rips the crap out of tutorials. because it talks about pop-up tutorials at one point and how like annoying they can be, and then it proceeds to like spam pop-up windows at you with tooltips every like 5 seconds. But the guys that made Far Cry 3 Blood Dragon were having a lot of fun, and you could tell. Oh, sorry. Must be weird for Anatan against Cat and B in team games, because Anatan loves playing teams with B and Cat. Yeah, but, you know, 2v2, baby. Got to choose your dance partner and stick to the end of the beats. A reminder, by the way, Wham! Poppy Paw versus Kill Yachty Baltoon has been delayed. So, I would guess probably Monday. Maybe the rest of the tournament is done on Monday, because this is going to be the lower bracket semifinals, which is a best of 5. After which, there will be one more lower bracket round, and then there's the upper bracket, and then it's finals, right? So you'll have 2 best of 5s and a best of 7 remaining after the series to be played in this tournament. So yeah, like I said, I'd assume that would happen on Monday, but we'll see. I'll keep you guys updated as soon as I know. All right, dude. I thought we were starting in like a moment. All right, I guess we got like 2 minutes still. Oops. Optimistic to finish the tournament today? Exactly, right? Like, when I saw that, I was like, I mean, yeah, we should have probably scheduled like this in the first place. Because that is an insane amount of games. Especially when you realize a lot of the remainder are best of 5s and there's a best of 7. Like, we're beyond ambitious at this point. All right, there we go. Just type that in. It's funny when you're like cobbing with a potential sponsor and they have given you like an ultra short line, like hobbits look tall levels of short deadline to work with, but you're talking to their intern and not the decision maker. It's like, dude, I mean, it's a good idea to like train these people on how to do the job, but ambitious to train them in the moment where like you need quick decisions, because they're probably going to have to go back and confirm everything with the full-time employee anyway. But I guess it's nice to see them having interns do work. I feel like there's a lot of exploitative roles for interns these days. I mean, I'm not even just talking about like the coffee boy crap. Like, actually, kind of what's worse than even the coffee boy crap is when you're an intern, like, which means you're probably a uni student, and you get thrown into the work environment with no guidance. Because that's actually not realistic. A lot of people, when they actually get a full-time job, they get guidance. They don't just get given like a list of like names and say, go do business with these and whatever and however. Like, you actually get guidance when you're a full-time employee because they're going to spend money on you, so they don't want you to be shit at the job. Because if you're crap at the job, they lose out as well, right? So it's very weird. Yeah, very weird exploitative market. What's the hold-up? We should have definitely started by now. So let me just check what Carlo's doing. Well, his timer still has 5 minutes, so I feel like I've just been hard baited now. No, there we go, we're in game. Don't know why he's got 5 minutes on his timer still. Unless, is it a 5-minute delay? Boo. Don't be. So yeah, everything is expected. Lucifron and Vortex are just running the same strategy every single time. Dry Arabia, pick French Byzantines, and give French to Lucifron. A Mongol's Japanese, a little bit of a spicier meatball. I guess they can int on the French player. Like, this is actually the type of comp that could do double Dark Age. not sure if you want to. I guess you could make Byzantine's life a living hell with it. I don't know, though. I think Mongols would potentially be interested in outpost rushes, but Japanese players typically aren't. Japanese players don't really engage in outpost rushes much, from what we've seen. It's weird. You'd think when you're going to build 4 or 5 spears, there's a natural follow-up. I think the merit to getting fast castle outweighs the benefits of hanging around Dark Age longer. And that's the tricky part. Wait, so you worked hard and then you got to do coffee runs? Woo-wee, Bobby. Oh, wait. Flip. It's time for the clash you've all been waiting for, but just didn't know you needed. Spanish Bros up against the 3D Clan. That's right, 2v2 tournament. Top tier players. We've got the return of 3D Clan's Cat in the blue on the Mongols, teaming up with none other than B, reigning champion in S-tier tournaments in the green as the Japanese. And on the other side, they face off against Giants. Lucifron in the yellow playing as French, and Vortex's bro in the orange playing as Byzantines. Best of 5 territory. Single elim now. You lose this series, you are out of the $1,000 team tournament. And shout out again to Carlos for organizing that. I mean, it has been an absolute ball of entertainment. I mean, a different style as well, really. I want to see more team tournaments. I want to see more design around team play. But maybe on both accounts, I'm asking a little bit too much. But in the meantime, we do get to tap the creative juices. This is interesting because we're going to have creativity versus optimization. Vortex and Lucifron have been running the same opening draft every dry Arabia. But now they face an entirely new brew, an entirely new storm that is cooking, as we have got double Dark Age from the 3D Clan to try and bring the pain. Guys, this is cool as well. Vortex's reactions go Limitane. You don't often see Byzantines playing Dark Age anymore, but here we are. And Vortex doesn't really need those spears to protect Lucifron. Lucifron has gone for the V for Victory wall. He's still a very big fan of this, so has got active gold gathering. Doesn't have to worry about the spears diving in easily. I think something I like about the idea of this, though, is that one player can bring the spears and the other one can bring the villages, right? So you can essentially outpost rush 2 locations in rapid order. We'll see if they want to go for it. Cat hasn't brought up a worker so far, but B has, interestingly enough. Yeah, that I wasn't expecting. I would have thought the Mongol player would be doing the outpost, because the Mongol outpost is also better. Remember, Mongol outpost is going to give you the Yam aura in Age 2 with Deerstone. B, on the other hand, you know, he can get in placements quite easily because you gather gold, you get stone, but the same is true of Cat on the Mongols. Flash coming in. B. Let's just try to front it. Starts the microwave. It does get cut off. -1 there. These Limitane, they're tankier. They have an extra 10 HP compared to standard spears. And right now, Vortex is successfully 2v1ing. B also brought double worker up for nothing. For shame is what he done here. Oh my god. How did he just 2v1? Defender's advantage, I get it, but it's 2 players. Defender's advantage shouldn't be rocking that hard. That's wild. Well played. Vortex, I mean, the choice to prep Limitane immediately is what got him to this position. Guys, this might be a really quick game. Why are we building a forge on the enemy side of the map? Because maybe we can sharpen our spears in it and then attack the... Oh, that would be genius. No, instead he's on the move now. Oh, he wants the gold. Look at the spawn, actually. We got distracted by the Dark Age shenanigans. The true goal is obvious here. Double gold blocker would really screw the plan for Lucifron. Limitane. Still buying time, though. I mean, do you just open archers as Lucy? It's weird, but it would give the protection. Villagers are going to be pulling the torches. They do see it. They bum rush for it. Well played timing as well. Lucifron, he can force the cancel. Oh, wait. I was about to say, you got to recommit, right? He gets the shivs out. Tries to go after the workers. The Limitane are getting close, though. They're losing ground fast. Shivs come out from Beast villagers, too. And the shivs from Lucy. He commits. The sync up here. Vortex with the 2v1 into a 2v1.5. I don't know what to call that. The workers. And now the Knight here against Dark Age Spears. Guys, I feel like we got a 7-minute game here. Both B and Cat haven't even started tech up yet. And Lucifron already has a Knight out. Cat has started to gather gold, so he's looking for a tech up now. Deerstone begins. B, still lagging behind the goal, but he shifts over with 6. The workers are still alive. But the micro required here and the macro loss of like these workers just not gathering is felt. They've not been gathering for half the game now, right? Vortex is only level 1 system, so no big buff there, but he actually went on the deer. Well, no wonder he's vomiting out so many spearmen. What's crazy is that, like, B didn't do something similar. He just went with the berries. Limitane putting the extra health to good work. Calm being a little bit of a nuisance here. But I'm more concerned about the Yellow Knights. Where are they? Oh, they're going. They're sending it. So Limitane finally get dragged down, but my God, did they last a century. Kuro Storehouse now on the way with 3, so some feudal presence seeming likely here for B. It's interesting. If you're in a 1v1 and you're French, you would have added an archery, even for just 2 archers here, right? But you just see what I mean about the hard commitment of roles you get in team games. Is that Lucifron looked at this and went, nah, I'm not going to build anything but that. See? He still wants that tower. He's like, by God, I've come all this way. Worked so hard for this. Please, just let me have it. Spears. Be able to poke at this. Move speed arrow affecting them as well. Reinforcements have arrived. Outpost being rushed up now by Lucifron. He's going to get it online. And that is a pain point. All this time with those workers and a middle fingered in the end. Doesn't get what he wants. Grand Winery on the way now. Going to be quicker than the Kuro Storehouse time to be. Hardened Spears means that you don't really want to fight with these Limitane anymore, but he'll have veterancy quick enough. Yeah, interesting that Lucifron didn't just send more knights to the enemy side. He's been hunting around with his knight and his scout. Be careful not to get baited hard there. It does take a hit to the face. Interns today do normal jobs and intern salaries. Exactly. And don't forget the part where, like, now in modern society, entrance jobs require 4 years of experience. Job market is messed up. Spears now, being forced to defend. Limitane upgrade isn't in. Okay, it's coming in a second here. So there we go. Upgrade complete. Everyone has arrived in Feudal Age. It just took 8.5 minutes. Question now is, does B hang around? Because he looks like a man who's trying to FC. Prepping archer ranges as well. Cat, I assume Cat is just going to keep blobbing infantry. Yeah. Because his role is just to get the inf comp together, and when you're around 50 military units, you can start thinking about Kurotai. And that'll be great support for B's FC build. Whereas B's opening could be Onimusha. Mad Samurai does make a lot of sense, though. I think the risk of Onimusha is if your opponent now goes Javelins, even Lombos actually, you can struggle a bit when it comes to raiding Vortex. You should still be able to raid Lucifron, right? But I'd argue Mad Samurai can raid this even better. We'll see. It's definitely curious that he went for an archery range. wonder if he ever just goes double infantry here. Right, so you go Yumi Spear, and then you go Archer Spear. And then you add in Samurai later on. I mean, that would be pretty sick. We never get to see Samurai. Not Foot anyway. It's always the cavalry. Floodgate now on the way for B. Spear blob quite bloody big here. First longbows have been queued up. Vortex's goal as Byzantine player here normally is to get castle. But because of the way this game opened up, and this is what I mean about being Cat's approach and the wackiness, they threw a spanner in the works. Vortex would normally be prepping to go quick feudal and then castle at a reasonable time, because that's what Byzantines thrive on, getting the Golden Horn Tower online. But by B and Cat doing this weird double spear shenanigan, it forced Vortex's timings to completely warp. And that's why you're now seeing him tech heavily delayed compared to B. Yeah, reminder, that is B, aka Green, aka guy who spent the first 6 minutes of this game doing weird stuff with two of those workers. Oh, sick walling from Lucy. Just walks out and hugs the edge of the map for the deer. So win conditions. Vortex needs castle. What does Lucifron need? Night scaling in theory is good, but the worry I have here is you need to find a way of thinning the map. So they need to find a direct point to attack and attack relentlessly, because with Vortex going into Limitane and Lombo, the value of Onimusha is in their ability to split the map. Good start here, just baiting the Knights, actually. Begin the poke. Needs to keep scaling, because if you don't get to the one-hit kill point, the healing is going to make it more annoying. But this is what I mean. If you have Onimusha and the Lombo Spears are back here, they can defend here, but they can't defend over here, and they can't defend back here. However, if the Longbow Spear Ball is here, it's harder for B to ignore because his teammate's going to die. And even if he tries to raid, it becomes a balanced raid. As in, you'll be killing Cat's villagers, or maybe even B's, but B will be killing yours. Nice target there, Lucifron. Does cost him one knight. I think kind of worth it, though. Onimushas are cheaper than knights, but it's the scale point that matters. Golden Town now on the way up. Almost complete. What, 13 workers. Pretty lofty hit to the gathering. Meanwhile, B, what have we got? We've got Yorishiro in archery. And second Yorishiro coming out soon. Has he already rallied it? I'm imagining Farmhouse would make a lot of sense for how B likes to play a lot of time, but TC would also be quite nice just to produce more workers. Hefty on the Knights. Now, Hefty on the Gathering. I think we could actually see Castle Age coming in soon. Which would leave Cat just kind of distraught on his own. With mass archers. And his archers. It's going to be a brawl here. Onimusha supporting. They suck against this, by the way. They're good against this. He hasn't brought them all forward, though. He actually split them off into groups to go raiding, looking at the economy. I'm going to scare yellow away for the time being. Bet Lombos struggling to keep up. Onimusha can get some cheeky quick kills if they're switched on about this. Lucifron, great micro, pulling away the injured one by one. Min-maxing his life here. Buying time to thrust forward as a duo. Nice. Pretty much done what they needed to. Now the Shiver will be able to top them off over time. Onimusha going to be forced to full retreat. The tricky part is still the Lombos, remember. They haven't caught up yet. Onimusha are now raiding to the backside. The second wave does arrive. So kind of getting scary here now with the 10 and that 11 base damage. Yeah, and now that he's got, what, 14? That will insta-kill a Knight every other week, guys. Knights only have 190 HP, and these guys do 20 damage. So after reduction, 16 damage. Yeah, so if he has 13 Onimusha, he will always kill a Knight. A full HP Knight. These guys are not full HP, though, so more of a liability. Love the idea of Cataphract, weirdly enough. It sounds odd because Onimusha will kill, but this early on, before you see it's this many Onimusha, like if they knew, it makes sense to ruin Cat's archer formation. I hope he doesn't commit too much more into producing them. Like, I like the idea of a few cataphracts to raid the flanks. But in a direct engagement now, with 25 Onimusha, the cataphracts will just die straight away. Yeah, like, the plus side of more knights at this point is that the Onimusha will overkill you. The negative of building cataphracts is there's so many horseback archers now that they will instantly kill a cataphract. And they are marching hard as well. They're trying to catch Cat Teffing. He had begun gathering, but hasn't pulled the trigger just yet. In fact, he's lacking spears. Uh-oh. This is kind of a problem, guys. Cat needs to download more spears.com, but against Lombos, easier said than done. And this is what I meant about full Onimusha versus having some knights in there. There's no front line being provided. Right by to the back of the base. Orange is going to have to switch targets. He's too slow to keep up. French Knight Mass going to keep charging through, though. And the spear count being so low, it's a great fight for Lucy. The speed arrow being used. And then we're thinking twice before going in. Knights continue to circle the base. And Cat... where's your economy? He's got woodworkers down here, and that's it. Everyone else is not working for Cat, so 2/3 of his eco is kind of idle and caught. Lombo's trading out over here up against the archers. Limitane is still healthy. Onimusha cycling around towards that back line of oranges. Yellow keeping wide for good reason. You don't want to walk headfirst into the crossbow horsebacks. You see what I mean with those cats? Almost dead straight away. Vortex with an unusual amount of wood now. I think he might be prepping for the olive groves. Oh, man. The sync timing's a bit off here, right? Like, you saw that Cat backed away and B still fighting. So instead of you being 2v2, you're doing a 2v1. Luckily, you know, only one player on the enemy team has ranged units, but you're giving him a better trade than you should have. Your advantage is more crap here, guys. So hold more crap. He's in now. Limitane slowing the retreat. Cataphracts are going to get sniped down. Lombo Ball is going to be removed from the equation. Royal Institute is on the way. And Lucifron has practically all of his knights because he basically sold his teammate upriver. Yeah, he's like, oh, yeah, we could totally take this fight. We should take this fight right now. Goes in. Why are you not in the fight? It's like, bro, don't worry. I'm going to have these amazing premium knights, you know? Like, you've got like a little Suzuki Swift right now, but I just started a down payment on a Mercedes. You know how fast that's going to be when I can afford it? Meanwhile, I've crashed my Suzuki into your house. Ooh, Night Raid. Not going to do much, though. I mean, that's where Onimusha are really, really scary. Plastic Knights, right? Like, this is why Lucifron didn't even try to approach. We're up to 27 Onimusha again. Kurotai is now on the way for blue. Green is on approach. He still doesn't have a bannerman because he'd have to build a stables, and he didn't optimize that in the build. He could afford it quite easily, actually. But I think it's one of those things that you just forget about. Because remember, a while ago, they changed it so that you have the stables bannerman buff the Onimusha. A nice, sick raid there onto Lucifron. Finds the workers before the double outpost goes up. Veterancy is in for knights now. Difficult to chase, though. Onimusha just soft counter you here, right? I say soft counter. Like, it's meant to be a hard counter, but it's soft counter when you don't have a front line, is the idea. It's not, you can A-click and win this. There needs to be a lot of meticulous fighting. Orange. We talked about that wood earlier. Vortexes, but it's a good use. So, bulk of farms, probably about 18 already down. 21, even better. It's got more berries in the corner. Combo Ball isn't crazy big, but we'll be up to 20 again soon. Does Kurotai work on allies? It does indeed. It's what makes Mongols one of the best supporting picks in team games. Just count your lucky stripes. It doesn't affect. They aren't affected by Deerstone as well. Blanche takes a depressing showing there. Lombos are the good traders here. And, well, the Knights aren't here to defend for good reason. Hold on. He dives straight in and pushes him off of the Kurultai. Oh, Cat. Veterancy's about to complete. This is too many Knights to stand your ground, right? They've got royal bloodlines. The Onimusha have to pull all the way back. It's a great dive there by Lucifron. Pushes Cat out of his own base entirely. Cat also full idle running across the map like this. Now you just kind of go back, right? You can just poke around the TC, force more idle. I don't know. Cat is... I don't know how he's still got 54 workers, is all I'll say. Mainly because he's vacated to B's base. But it is crazy the way he's had to finesse his way around this map to not lose more. Right, just going in again. Hardened Spears are not going to bother them. The Onimusha most definitely will. Lombos are creeping forward, though. Kurultai unpacking in the center of the two bases. I.e. the central point between them. But he doesn't have many farms, right? So he's got this north side, which is his North Star, right? Without it, he's gone. He's lost. But it is very dicey. This area's got so much food value that you have to be suspicious of it if you're the Spaniards, right? So I wonder if they'll just move over there next. It seems like they are full hog focused on Cat for some reason. I mean, I don't think you get fast inbuilds out of Mongols here, right? We saw one attempt at it. It didn't work very well for Anatan yesterday. They're just burning their way in. Kurultai is getting ready to unpack. So I wonder if you just steer now. Every time you see the Kurultai, you kind of want to move away from it and fight elsewhere entirely. Like, okay, for those that have been scarred by the unit, this is a Delhi Elephant. Do not fight the Delhi Elephant. Avoid the Delhi Elephant. Kurultai buff in, and there you go. 16 base damage. Uma Bannerman plus Kurultai rocks pretty hard. That's a 30% DPS buff. Not bad. Not bad at all. Imagine what that number would look like with mounted samurai. Doesn't beg thinking about, but you're going to see it anyway because he also has mounted samurai. If you're wondering why is Vortex and Lucifron so hesitant, because they know that buff is so good, but they're playing so far upfield because if the buff is here, it's not setting up for diving their base. French is indeed adding in Horsemen. Well, I mean, in fairness, it makes sense. Literally everything he's fighting against is countered by Horsemen, right? There's 52 Onimusha and 36 Archers. It's actually a very crafty play by Lucy. And it still uses Royal Bloodlines. It's very tanky. With 200 HP on his vet horses. Nice is forward now, Onimusha. Trying to spread a line, but the dive comes in. The Horseman with the body blocks the Kurultai! He can't get it up! And the blocks on the retreat. The archers are now cut off. Mad Samurai trying to cover them. Kurultai will be able to keep moving, so it's not going to get shut down straight away. But the Horsemen are carrying this. What a sick move! They caught them completely off guard for this. They didn't know what to do with themselves. The Horsemen just aren't dying. He turns to kill the Knights instead. It's the only thing he can. That's going to come at a price, though. Onimusha. He had 50 of them a minute ago. Blink and you might miss it. I can't believe how quickly they died. Spears now just moving onto the tree line. This game, it's over. They're cooked. How do you go from 50 Onimusha to none this fast? If you're all wondering why Jin Mohit Tribesman doesn't work, this is why. Cav Archers sound cool, but they need to be wholly worth it. And worth is difficult to justify. Just a classic counter to Mass Onimusha strats. The Horseman switch out of nowhere. This went wrong from Dark Age, man. What a weird beginning to the game with that as well. Whew. So, that's only game one. This is a best of 5. Let's mark it up. Oh, we didn't have predictions for that, right? Oh, no, we did. Already paid out. Thank you, mods. So, game number 2. Let's see what the boys are going to be up to. They haven't drafted yet. Okay, in that case, I'm going to run ads now. I'm going to run a minute and a half of ads so you guys don't get them in game, okay? So, stay tuned. Because we've still got potentially 4 whole games to get through. 1 sec. Just need to send a message to one of my creators about a deal for him. This game cool. Ah, there we go. Smash Bros on fire. Hell yeah. I mean, they need to be. The caliber of remaining players is definitely absolutely no pushover. So the boys getting in lobby now, so we should have draft. Let me double check. Yeah, guys, I think we're going into Gorge. It's double Malian pick, and then Spaniards picked Macedonians as a secondary, and then 3D Clan picked Japan. So it kind of seems like a Gorge draft. We've seen this a bit already. Japanese is actually, I think, quite good against Macedonians. Because if you build Ridari, they just build Mass Onimusha. The dynamics are a bit different in 1v1s, but I think they can be very linear in 2v2s. There is the Javelin threat, though. But then, if Japan's teammate does Farimba, he can do Freeborn and Javelin or Freeborn and Mansa Musafadi. Which both could be pretty. Because Mansa Musafadi will also help clear the Ridari. Like, I actually think Freeborn Mansa Musafadi is pretty scary with the Onimusha behind them. So, I mean, there's just so many more compositions to Furycraft in those environments, right? Sorry, dude. I'm like, I don't know what it is. The last few days, I've been in hyper work mode. Yeah, it's weird. Now that things have started to roll with the agency, it's like there's a lot of conversations flowing and going on. Whereas the initial start month is like, it can be kind of quiet because you're obviously reaching out to your peoples and reestablishing the different contacts. But yeah. Good to be busy than not have anything to do at all. Final is not today, no. There was a scheduling issue for one of the top bracket side players. All right then, let's get underway. Wait, I just realized, do I disappear in this shirt? No, I don't. I guess, wait, the shirt does kind of look weird for the pattern zoomed out, doesn't it? Yeah, it's not a camera friendly. You get this a lot with, oh, we got a remake. Rip. Game 2. Nah, it's a remake. You get this a lot with shirts that have tight patterns, is that they don't reflect onto the cameras very well. Yes, Japanese again. You can pick Japanese again. So you're allowed to pick a Civ twice as a team in a series, but you can't have the same player play it. So in game 2, Cat will have to play Japan. But that's the maximum you could do. Oopsie, why did I just go 2v2s? Oh, damn, they were fast to set up a new lobby. Alright, let's give this a wee second go. I don't know why we're Scottish. It's just a funny little accent to hop into. I need to figure out what's happening with Elite Classic on Sunday in terms of schedule, though. I mean, we won't know until the end of the day for Saturday, right? Yeah. Won't we? Or is it a full group? I'm not sure, actually. Whatever, I'll keep an eye on it. Oh no, I got a B in here. It's not a big ass B. I've been stung by larger. Oh wait, it's B. Is this the final? Nope. It's time, game number 2, and we're going to Sweet, Sweet Gorge. It's time to see if Macedonians was a fluke or if they are a threat in 2v2 games. Luciferon mans them in the yellow. His teammate, none other than his bro, DS Vortex, in the orange as the Malians. And the other side has a Malian player too. The most scary, polarizing, and confusing Malian player in pro play is none other than B in the green. And he has got a 3D clan member on his side. The return of Cat to pro play in a 2v2 tournament. He's going to be on the Japanese for G2. This is almost exactly deja vu. Yep. Japan instead of Ibids. Actually, earlier today, we had this matchup. What was the other difference? Is it today? We've had Malians a lot on this map. Malians seems to be quite popular on Gorge. And the other picks that are quite popular usually is French, for example. Yeah, Vortex, Luciferon, so far are giving deja vu with their draft, actually. They played the same civs in game 1, the same civs in game 2 on these maps, as they did already today. This is what I mean. Like, it seems like Vortex and Luciferon, more of a, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, right? Like, they don't seem to have prepped a bunch of branching strategies, which would make sense. You have to remember that this tournament's happening literally a day before the main event of the Elite Classic 4 begins. So for a lot of players, their focus is going to be on prepping strategies and practicing for that 1v1 tournament, which is why, once again, really big shout out to all the players that have come and played in this tournament ahead of time. Big thumbs down to those that didn't. Boo. Tryhards. Oh, you want to win an S-tier tournament? You want to win a 1v1 tournament, big boy, so you don't want to play in these small tournaments in between? I think it's time for you to take a lesson, an educated lesson from your brothers in the Age of Empires 2 scene. Like, big shout out to Hera. Do you guys see how he went and played that Warcraft 3 invitational tournament in completely different RTS? And then what does he do? He comes into Warlords and gets top 12, which... I'm sorry, Hera. Oh, man. I do respect the cojones on him to do that, though. Be like, yeah, I'm gonna play 2 different RTS top tier tournaments at the same time. For those that didn't catch it, Hera ended up going out in Joint 12 because he had been playing a lot of Warcraft 3 for Grubby's invitation. So Kurosawa's coming in. That's the distractions we need, guys. We're bored of Marine Lord winning tournaments. We just need to get someone else to, like, we need to get him invited to someone else's game, you know? Marine Lord gets jebaited and invited to a Zero Space tournament, then loses the next EGC event, right? Did Doomy play that tournament? He used to be the best Warcraft 3. That's not how that tournament works. If the tournament worked that way, it would suck. right? You don't want to bring in former Warcraft pros. The whole goal of what Grubby does there is he brings in a bunch of creators who are going to be of similar skill levels, potentially, at least to begin with, from different games. Harry's done the same now, where he's got like Sing Sing, who is a former top level Dota 2 pro. He's got Yamato Cannon, who also high ranking player and coach in League of Legends. And then he's got some of the StarCraft guys learning Age of Empires 2. He's got Grubby learning Age of Empires 2. And they're all clashing. And then with Grubby's tournament, like you had one edition where Viper came and played. And it was the same edition, I think, as Turin. So there's like some people you see as front runners because they are pro players. But the whole goal is that although people may have skills that assist them in getting ahead because they instinctively know things, like the way that Shroud can play any FPS and be good, the notion is that everyone should be starting from the same position knowledge-wise, if that, or as close as possible, if that makes sense. So crew complete here. Cat is going for an FC build by looks of it. Other side, Lucifron, what are we getting? Probably just FC, right? He's moving his troopers out on the flanks like this just to protect the investment. That's good coordination. You just need to call for these things when you're in team games. If you're the player who doesn't have cavalry, just be like, bro, I'm going a bit greed here. Protect me for a sec. Because they'll eliminate the scout in a matter of seconds. Does it hurt the timing of moving across the map? Slightly, but what would you do when you move across the map anyway? The alternative is you give your opponent a fat stack of like 140 gold. Hera, the former AoE4 pro? Yes, and the aspiring League of Legends pro. He also won, I don't know if you guys heard about this, he also won a few Age of Empires 2 lands. Just a couple dozen. Okay, not a couple dozen lands, but a couple dozen S tiers. What's his real name and background? John Smith, and he's a carpenter. Would you like his mother's maiden name as well? Oh, what's that question? Okay, so cows begin. Guys, remember when we used to have cow sling in this game? Man. Can we just universally agree that was a good meta to get rid of? I still remember the 2v2 tournament from back then. Every game was like HRE Malians. Because you'd sling cows and they would just rush Burgrave. So dumb. It's like, those are the type of things where you applaud the discovery of them, and then by the second time you've seen them, you're going, okay, it's gotten old now. Let's maybe patch this. Burn come through in the farmhouses. Nothing else you can really do right now. Floating Gate begins. Lucifron is going to be notably slow on his tech up. I mean, what do you want me to say? Macedonian economy sucks. They've really got no upside. He did also build 2 horsemen, so he kind of hurt himself as well. But like the big problem is you compare to Japanese economy, they could have went Kawara and gathered on the berries. I actually like that he built those 2 horsemen to try and guarantee that wouldn't happen. Now it's going to be a rotation towards the goal, but ends up losing the horsemen. And now he's just left with the scout. I think if he got the 2 horsemen over, he can force B and Cat to defend with more villages around this. Because the extra horseman torch damage with the scout buff could probably have led to this landmark completing with, 40% HP. Maybe lower if they kind of hard press it. But Golden Horn Tower now on the way. And then the other Marlene player, Vortex, just stacking up the cows. So both of them just prepping their full economy. And that info's about AoE4 players, so why not number 1 AoE2 player? I'm sorry, we know the AoE4 player's mother's maiden names? Well, if you want Hera's name, I don't know actually, is it public? It's not, right? Or no, it is, yeah. You can literally just check his Wikipedia page. It's Hamza El Baher. Wikipedia has most people's details. I sometimes find it sus how they have everyone's birthdays too. But they don't have our mother's maiden names. Checkmate. So Vortex prepping Spearman. Cat already has the Mounted Samurai on the way. And B's going racks. Guys, One's if you think he's going for Rimba, two's if it's Fulani. Notice I biasly put ones for Farimba because I know what this... I mean, it's obvious what it is. Look at the cow dispersion. There's no world in which you go for a Fulani here, right? But if I'd asked you this question at 2 minutes in, your answer would have been the same. B is a great lover of Farimba. And it's pretty strong here. Mansa Musafadi dominates. We were talking about this pre-game. Is like in a Malian matchup with team play, like you're going to have heavy cav on both sides. If you go Mansa Musafadi, you block out and beat Donzos very well. Javelins don't kill you fast enough. Sofas can't be built by the Malian player. Radari are going to struggle. The only thing you have to worry about is archers, but the whole goal is that Mounted Samurai plus Mansa Musafadi go so fast into their opponent, they can't get archer line. Snipe down here, checking out the spears. Dari proving a bit of a nuisance. The scout, nicely micro. Lucifron min-maxing the health balls here. He's cycling them round in small circles. So gets to hang around here for the burn. Sends one Radari to challenge 3 knights. That is ambitious. He loses track of the micro. Oh, that's disastrous and so unusual for Lucifron. I mean, he's usually won the Micro Masters in Age of Empires 4. So Cat gets a freebie. He has also got his Shinto priest to heal him afterwards. Right now, they're picking relics. And confirmed, it's Mansa Musafadi. These units are so freaking good. I'm so glad they are getting their time in the limelight. Mansa Musafadi, for those that have not seen them, it's the normal Musafadi you may know, the anti-heavy, but add armor and more health. They get 10 more HP than standard Musafadi, and they end up, when they're vetted, with 5 base melee armor. Currently, they've got 4 because they're tier 2. They are crazy strong. And especially when your opponent has built Donzos. Donzos that do 8 damage into 5 melee armor. That's the threat. Oh, Villager out and about. B does get found trying to set up more mines. Nicely played. Wait, why is B out here trying to set up a mine? What? I guess that's one way to not lose your pit mine. Build it on the enemy side in their corner. But, like, you're against another Malian player, so surely that would never work. A little bit of poke raids on the flanks here. But good denial of the gold that B would otherwise have. He is setting up defensive pit mines now, which makes more sense when... Oh, God, that one's terrible. But when you've got double gold like this, you can get most of the value at least. And what are we getting out of Lucy? How many tiers is he up to? I'd imagine he's got tier 2 armor. Yeah, he's queued it up now. So remember, when you play the Macedonians, the way that your armor techs work is they give you the melee and ranged, and they also give you a buff in HP. Hit Mine Edge is big troll. Yeah, dude, you can't build houses here. It sucks. Even this one is less than ideal because, like, look at the placement. You can't build a house there. I don't know. You might get away just barely with that. Yeah, obviously the fourth one already got cleared. Radari count up at 10. Archers are now scaling, but they're doubled by the Mansa. So remember, the goal for being Cat, for this win condition to come alive, the game strat work, they need more than their opponent. So right now, they're failing. Because look at the military cap. It's 52 to 37. I'm a little bit worried that Vortex caught them very quickly and pivoted archers faster than they were expecting. That's a problem. Yeah, because if he gets up to like 35, 40 archers, you can deal with the Mansa scaling. Cool pivot you get as B, though, would be Javelineers. Don't know if he's going to do it, but it would be a sick read. So, like, he could do either Freeborn or Javelineers. I think Freeborn's usually more popular because it's like when you add in meta arms with mass spears so that bows can't kill you as fast. The challenge, once again, becomes that one side will have range units and the other will have none. So, with kiting, you're going to lose a lot. I don't know, man. There's not many examples where melee strats prove reliable when you're behind on camp, right? I mean, yes, the obvious one is Heavy Knights, but when you're playing Infantry Mass, the goal is to be ahead. Goal that currently is feeling pretty elusive. Forced retreat too. Oh, Mansa did sneak on the back. Rodari should be close to tier 3, right? Yeah, he's not far off. He could also go for Rom Fire to get +3 damage. I kind of like the idea of him actually just getting more armor. Because the idea here is you just want to last a long time. And the person who can clear the enemy army is your supporting teammate. Burn on Ford Raxes. Patience coming in from Freedy Clan. Nuso. Just having a little poke at it. Knight's now charging forward. Stagger retreat. No poison arrows coming through yet from Vortex, though. It's soon to complete. 20 seconds out. Same for the damage increase in the archers. Ridari, pull back, reveals the spears further. And a recommitment now. And the Muso, they ain't looking too good, guys. Nah, the archers are sweeping through them. And the Mad Samurai, they're gone. This looks toast. I think we might be having a pretty quick series. Yeah, that's kind of death point, right? Like you're mirroring Malians, but you are completely counterplayed now. And when you look at Japanese has a better economy than Macedonians, but they are now, I'd say, drastically behind on military. 6 mounted samurai compared to 30 is a big deal. And look at the health. Like, let me select his health balls because he's still pretty healthy, right? Half HP on most of these knights. It's crazy how tanky you get with these guys. Cow landmark beats the non-cow landmark. Yeah, and it's like, I don't know if this works better if you just 2TC instead. I think the best way we've seen this done is Baltin, where he 2TC'd and then threw. I kind of just prefer that build. Because it gives you non-stop pump, right? Because you actually have an economy to Zerg with. Whereas this just feels completely and utterly massive. GG. Game 2, another Spanish win. Saj. Farimba Saj. I wanted to believe. Oh, but I think I'm running out of faith. What can they do different? I mean, in fairness, I same think I'm running out of faith. I haven't seen the Spaniards play too many longer sets, right? They've usually been very fast off the line to either win or lose. So now we have to see some diversification in strategies. They can't just play what they already won with today. They've got to do something different. What I'll do, guys, going to run another 1.5 ads so you guys don't get them in game. And then feel free to yap at me in the meantime. Yeah, that whole experience kind of needed wow, wow, wow noises with it. Trying to think what they could have done different. Because, like, Onimusha against a Malian player sounds bad. Because, like, Onimusha wins against Ridari. I think it's really, really effective against Ridari. But with the potential for javelins, like, this is the... You could have done Ridari Jav, but... sorry, you could have done Onimusha Jav, but then you literally have nothing to put in front of a melee army. So you just get ran through. Double the ad time? I can't. That's not how it works. The moment you run an ad, it starts the ad, and then it puts ad running on cooldown for a few minutes. To stop us earning as much money. Because we earn millions running ad. I do sometimes wonder just how many more streamers could be full-time on Twitch if Twitch's ad rev share was anywhere remotely close to YouTube's now. Yeah. That's the thing. Like, I run ads because I have to. Because if I don't run ads, you guys will get ads at weird times. And also, it's like pre-ads and stuff like that, right? So I do it for the blessings of you guys, essentially. Okay. So the boys are in lobby. Draft should be complete then. It's weird, I swear. Sometimes AOE2 CM does auto-update. Other times it doesn't at all. Okay, they're picking now. Oh, that's sick. Olden Era has got a tournament already. Oh, I love that. I don't know who's running it. But I noticed it get pinged a moment ago. Yeah, I don't know if it's Lexi running the tournament or if he's just watching the games. But best of one so far. Really happy for Lexi, actually. That guy grinded Hom free more than almost anyone. And it's nice that it's paying off for him. What do you think, guys? Are we going to get a 3D clan game? Because this is weird. I think we're going to Rocky River. It's English Ruse for Vortex and Lucifron. And Cat B chose a Bastards Mongols. So double infantry versus one Night Civ? I mean, you could Keshik against Ruse Knights, I guess. Don't know if you want to, though. Okay. Why stop yawning tonight? I'm trying to think, like, what you can do. Like, how good could a Bastards be? Late game against Rus, actually. Mass Camel Riders? I guess my only concern there is English can just stomp through you. So the Mongol player needs to deal with English. You can play towards hand cannoneers with Kurotai and movement speed, and then also the Khan Hunter range is pretty sick there. So actually, like, late game, not terrible for 3D Clan with this game strat. The reason why I'm thinking we get late game is if it's Rocky River. Rocky River just feels like a magnet for late game. Especially in 2v2s, the map just feels way too big. There's no running, there's no hiding. Where's the hold up there, boys? We need to be getting underway with this. Alright, hopefully we get underway in a sec. In terms of other maps this could be, you pick English of Acids. Because the map pool, for those who don't know, is Dry Arabia, Cliffside, Confluence, Gorge, Prairie, Rocky River, and Sunken Lands, and we've already had Gorge and Dry Arabia. I can make sense of Mongols on Cliffside. I don't think I can make sense of Abbasids. I can make sense of Abbasids on Confluence, but not Mongols. I couldn't really make sense of Abbasids on Prairie. Like, it's either Rocky River or Sunken Lands, I think. And from what I've seen so far, nobody has even been remotely interested in Sunken Lands, which says everything about that map. Hey! Pizza de Pizzas, Rocky River. I watched too many Age of Empires pro games. I need to get a life. I need to play another game. What can I play? Because I'm thinking, like, what do we do after this is done? You know the outcome of the 3D versus Belarus series. So maybe we'll have to spin up some other content. Olden Era gameplay chat. Hive did just get buffed. They have now got one strat that works. Deadlock gameplay, maybe? Top 5% gamer? There is also a playtest of that engine pool game, but I think that's something I'll have a bigger gap between revisiting. All right. Let's get ready to go. Of course, though, on the other side, so I have to switch my UI. Which is all manual input, by the way. Kind of bummed out because I remember a long time ago someone was offering to make like a draft UI and a score UI, and I was like, that's awesome. And then they said, oh, actually, Cal's making one, so I'll stop making mine. So now Cal has got the monopoly on the UI, sadly. Rep. All right. Let's get ready to roll. I hope you guys like long games because we're in Rocky River. And if you've ever played Rocky River in your life, you know what this can be. Especially when you see an English-Rus combo up against Abbasids and, well, admittedly, Mongols might try to fight you, but no doubt about it, free civs in this game, like the idea of the fourth age. One and all, welcome back to the 2v2 tournament. Top names, as always, 3D Clans members Cat and B in the blue Abbasids and green Mongols, respectively. Meanwhile, on the other side, it's DS Vortex in the orange, playing on his English, and Luciferon as cozy as always, with the Rus in yellow. How does he keep getting these tree lines? And hold on, Again? Guys, last time we watched this map, Killyardi and Baltoon faced off against Vortex and Luciferon. And in that game, Vortex and Luciferon got 4 tree lines. Killyardi and Baltoon got 3. It's happened again. I don't know how they keep doing it. That being said, that game did not end with a win for the Spanish Bros. The extra tree line didn't make the difference. Maybe it can here. I don't know. I'm kind of curious to see what we get. On a map like Rocky River, the really exciting thing is there's a high probability of late game. And the reason that's exciting here is because of the Abbasid deck. The Abbasids have been revamped. If you guys didn't catch this, Administration Wing is now it. The Golden Age has been changed from 3 tiers to 5. The Administration Wing now buffs the effects of all those Golden Ages. And you have new techs now in, such as Siege Planning that buffs the production rate of Raxes next to each other. You've got Siege Directive that buffs siege damage. You've also got your hands on a new tech called Algebra that generates resources based on all the technologies you research. So a lot of changes overall to the Abbasids. And with those Golden Ages, you now get damage on Camel Riders, you get traded gold gen up, you get melee infantry damage up. There's a lot of things. Got some music in the background? Of course I have. Did you just call... Nah, I can't allow that. Did you just call one of the most iconic RTS songs hideous? What the... Freaking Beethoven enjoys in my chat. I'm over here just trying to... in a base, in a basement. And you're over here with your monocle and your top hat. You're like, this is not the right class. Hey, you got to experience some Red Alert too. Frank Klepacki is one of the most iconic contributors to RTS audio. Full stop. All right, so we have got the Horseman opening from B. Is he doing the extended Dark Age build? We've seen this from Baltoon on the Mongols. It's actually really effective in 2v2s. So you open stables and you follow up racks, but he doesn't. No, he does something quite crafty. There's no French pick this game. There's no Jean. There's no French. So he goes trade. On a map, there's Born for it. Silver Tree is going to love this. Trade posts on the flanks. In fact, Rocky River, when it used to be used in pro play a lot, Mongols was a top tier pick. The trade builds worked well, and they worked phenomenal on this map in particular. Yeah, it's also the flexibility. If you get blocked on this trade, because you set up in the corner, you just take the shorter trade on this side of the map. So it's very hard to block both sides, especially if B is going to go Mass Keshik build now. Meanwhile, Vortex should be going 2TC? No. Hold on. What? Is Luciferon going to be FCing? So, the thing I do like for B here is these horsemen are already getting some value with this. He's punishing the greed. It's actually really crafty. If you play Mongols a lot, you'll be familiar with Dark Age Spear Rushes. But in 2v2s, the maps are often too big. Hence, Horseman actually has viability. Like, this strat that B's doing, you never really see it in 1v1s because Dark Age Horseman just feels not worth it. You pay 120 to get these abysmal stats, and your opponent can just build spears. But in 2v2s, there's more options, there's more flexibility. I mean, it's forced Vortex to add in Spearmen. and now archery. I wonder if this was always the plan for Vortex, or if originally he wanted to go 2TC, but because he saw it was Horseman opening, he couldn't. That's an interesting thought, yeah. I mean, I don't mind this idea of archery racks as opposed to council hall, because now you'll have healing far, far away from home when you go to attack. And Lucifron's pro scouting, so pretty much what we've come to expect out of Roos on this map. There's just too much deer in the mid-map to not be tempted. Also, a weird passing of the baton. Last time we saw these two play this strat on this map, roles were reversed. You had 2TC from Vortex, and Lucifron was pro scouts into Mass Knights. I wonder if he's going to do Knights again, or if instead we'll be looking at FC. Let's go for the Wooden Fortress now. And he hasn't shifted out to the gold. Not that you really would here, right? As long as you keep the hunting cabins up, the passive gold gen can get you castle. But the fact he hasn't shifted out to gold makes it seem unlikely that he'd go Knights. So FC is seeming more realistic. Free TC. Just your standard Abbasid things. I mean, what else you're meant to do with this Civ, you know? Definitely like the natural move, just a free TC with Eco Wing. Allows him to kind of hunker down, eventually set up farms. What's been the popular build after this? I feel Military Wing usually works quite nicely. Some people like Culture Wing, because if you end up now playing a very long feudal, like let's say you are just TC booming, you build 60 spears. What's really nice is Culture Wing, because you can then immediately follow up with Fast Imp at 20% discount. First farm cluster online, 46. What are we doing here? I mean, it does just feel like he's just looking to full ham send it. I guess trade is just too fast, right? Well, not just trade. It's trade 2TC. That's a lot of greed. Oh, sorry, 3TC. Wait, 4TC? What? I love how 3D Clan has just reached the point where nothing else has worked, so screw it. You do the greedy thing. I'm going to do the greedy thing. Let's meet up in 20 minutes and talk about it. Oh, that's brilliant. I mean, the cool thing about this is now there's just so many greed points to target that you'd think is easy for Vortex and Lucifron. But let me offer up a counterpoint. There's so many greed points to target. Which one do you target? And also, if you split target them to try and maximize damage, that's where B's Keshiks can carry the game. Just poking King away. Army moving up now. We've got an archery play from Cat. I like this. This sets up really nicely because now when he goes down the line, if he gets to Castle Age with 40 archers, he can just drop the composite bows. And fun thought for you here, guys. We haven't seen this yet. Composite bow archers with Mongols. Kurotai. So you can get a 33% increase in attack speed and then a 20% increase in damage. That is bonkers. Yeah, I don't. There's a spicy strat here for sure. Whether we'll see it or not, I'm not. But I really want to see it, man. It's actually one of the most glass cannony nuts type strats I can think of in 2v2 you can achieve. Target the trade and the TC in the trade. The challenge is if you're targeting the TC, you're now targeting the infantry player. So you're coming to daddy, you know? Because if you're not fast and Lombo Spears is not fast, the archer blob is going to get pretty fast. Because remember, we're talking about Bassids here. With fresh foodstuffs, the ROI on TC build, especially with Eco Wing, is super fast. Nice, being a little bit nuisance. Do fun the traders though. Yeah, nicely played. And now he does get a bit of overflow. There's too many workers here. 5 villagers. Doesn't play it. Oh, he doesn't have undermesh, right? And have we already got +1? We haven't got +1 yet from Cap. No, he just queued it up. Oh, how did you guys gamba? Wow. 71% in favor of 3D Clan. I think you guys are just desperate for more games, when being real. Like, I like the idea of what B and Cat are thinking here, but you guys didn't know that idea right. Maybe you did. Maybe because, like, you know, you've got 15,000 IQ. But based on the outcome of 2-0 so far, I thought more people would be Lucifron and Vortex. Let's go for a trade. Not the most ideal, though. Was that 2, maybe 3 Keshiks plus a trader? If it's 3 Keshiks is good. If it's the trader and 2 Keshiks, the Knight cost is pretty high. And now the Longbow follow-up. Where are they going? Oh, the Ringer Rosies. With a pocket full of nothing. Vortex's spears can't even engage. They're just dead. Kesh is going to chase now. A great ton and burn out of the 3D Clan boys. God, so many archers already. Double the count of Lombos. Yeah, so there's a very big difference in what these two sides have done. B is committing to 1 unit. Cat is committing to 1 unit. Lucifron is committed to 1 unit. Then there's Vortex. Vortex is committed to 2 unit archetypes. That's expensive. It just means he hasn't reached critical mass with either. The spears are practically all gone. Knight's hard committing. Keshiks are winning that fight. Archers steer over towards the Lombos now. I think we might have a pretty quick Rocky River. There's no tech play coming in from Lucifron and Vortex. But the eco scale is going to be nuts. Oh, yeah, you're right. Sorry. Yeah, 2-0. Let me just flip that. 2-0 is in favor of Lucifron and Vortex. You know what it is? It's because in the default capture age, if you press a shortcut, it swaps the UI. But in this one, we have to press the button down at the bottom behind our overlay. Thank you for that. Yeah. Reminder, Vortex and Lucifron are on match point. Not being down. Okay, so maybe a slight overextension here, but they can afford it. They're up by 40 eco at this stage. Yeah, they don't actually need good trades anymore. They just need to keep trading. Literally and figuratively, right? As in, B keeps slowing trade, but they keep fighting because it distracts. In fact, what's interesting about this build, if I'm not mistaken, B didn't... he didn't build more traders, guys. He's only got 2 left over. So he's investing everything back into army now and trusting Cat to just get way too fat to stop. Cam Arch is now cute. Smart choice there. Deals with Spearmen quite nicely still. Not as effective against Lombos. I mean, mainly because you have to get so close to them. They have huge range advantage. The whole idea is Cam Arch is individually a lot faster, a lot tankier. And in this situation, should be quite affordable considering that Cat is already sitting at 23 farms. Plenty more to come. You don't want to see a stomp? Yeah, but you do want to see a 2-hour game, right? Right. All right. 2-hour game, please. So B's starting to trickle a few more traders now. Lucifron's knight count is looking decent. He's actually about to have more knights than there are Keshiks. And the raid? Nicely found. B out on the 4-deer. And the boar. Has he got army nearby? Keshiks are coming. Has got the Yam. Splits the troopers to defend both. Nicely played. Great micro. Villagers going for a clutch repair. And Lucifron has to run. Good choice there. Hanging around for a 1-hit attempt is bad because the Keshiks are moving so fast with the Yam. Are they outnumbered? No, they've got favorable count. They just need to be careful on the micro. Let's end up pulling away. Where's Lucifron's other knights? I feel like this is not the full count. It's a bit confusing. There you go. He had a wave waiting in base. He goes in for another headbutt. That's got the outpost fire to assist him. Movement speed arrow gets activated for the full chase. 2.49 movement speed on the Keshiks. No running away from that. Second wave now arrives. And a great dodge from B. Cat is on his way, but the bigger concern is that Vortex has blocked them out. Uh-oh. This is kind of worrisome. No wheelbarrow. Textiles isn't going to help against as many Lombos. Luckily, Vortex goes the other way. So he will be able to get out. He did vacate the tower already. Keshiks are going to get sniped, though, and kind of a teeter-tot moment here, right? Like, B's falling behind on heavy cap now. But Cat is close to full power spike. 14 cam archers, 8 more queued up here. If he gets to 20, this becomes a real problem. Yeah, Spears won't answer it. Lombos will struggle to clear it up fast enough. The debuff will hinder the Knight's ability. But this is just as wild, man. Like, look at the timings. I think the problem in this game is that B feels like a non-factor. He sacked himself to allow Cat to do what he wanted. And the outcome is bad for him now because we've got Lucifron and Vortex simultaneously teching with big fat armies to upgrade. Lucifron already has veteran CQ'd as well as the boys fortitude. Other worry here, Cat can't rush his age up, which means that Vortex will be able to have Longbow veterancy as an edge over the Camel Archers for probably about a minute and a half. Good news is, if you can survive past that, Cat will get access to composite bows for his archers. Am I going to keep doing good news, bad news? Bad news is, he doesn't seem to be scaling archers anymore. It's camps. Nice now. Idle some farms. Easy shutdown for him. Because we've got the 5 armor, so diving's not hard now. And we've got quite a lot of farms, right? Vortex at 3 farm clusters. And remember, he went King's Palace, so he's going to scale Eco as well. Has like 50 farms. Yeah, but he can't... The problem is, look at the positioning. A lot of them are going to go idle at once. 62 farms in total now. Like, the idea that he can solo carry, kind of true, but he does need time. He's not really getting it. Vortex, look at the upgrades. Veterancy's a few seconds away. Bows first, and Spears 15 behind. Kekiks are still exactly that. B's trying to save the castle. Cat completes his deck up. Cat March is now marching over. Want to be careful with the positioning. I mean, Cat, I respect what he's done here. He's actually sacked his own base to wait in Bs because Cat can afford worker losses and B can't. Cat can afford a lot of worker losses. Like, when you play a Basses like this, you actually want them to kill your workers over your army. Sounds weird, but you're already threshold on villages. This army you need to get up. Cat, just 30 seconds out on veterancies. A few knights have slipped into the economy, so more idle time being ticked. And these are vet knights. They're very tanky, 255 HP. They can hang around for a long time. Burn's going to come through now as B did try to retreat further, but that means the town center now at risk. It's going to force the fight. Veterancy is about to complete for Cat. And it is a Kurultai build. Remember what we said about this. It's a huge booster, but they aren't moving the Kurultai right now. Lombos try to poke out this. Keshiks to the body block. They come out of the TC. Shuffles back inside. Good micro there. B goes to the backstab. Jumps to the Lombos. He's a mischievous mother ducker, but he just lost 2 more of them. And I don't know about this guy's Cat. The Cam Archers are not impressing. No, it just feels like Chimney are dying. The Longbow ball is pretty big. Knights are slipping back there again. Keshik's doing a good job now. They're essentially being ignored, so they're getting kills. That's huge. And it will be a forced retreat. Okay. So the Cam Archers do hold on. I've got to give props to B as well. It's not a lot of Keshiks, but they actually done a lot of work there. They kept hitting the Lombos, taking a few with them. If that Longbow ball went untouched, I think the Cam Archers died too fast. And also Kurultai clutch, guys. Like, this fight here is atrocious because no Kurultai buff. This fight good because of a 20% increase in damage. Just look at it right there. Crossbow switch up on the way. TC is going to end up getting sacked. That's dead. Longbow fire will be good enough on its own now. Gonna chase the guarantee. Or maybe not. Oh. Get the workers. Get the workers. Little Timmy's on his way. I thought he'd get the final torches out there. Stay of execution. That's important, as B has no other way of inflating economy right now. God knows he needs it. Cat at the point where don't probably want more workers anymore. Probably just military and then think about Imperial. He's massing crossbows, which is interesting here. Crossbows over archers. I mean, he's up against men-at-arms, but I think the weird part is like Vortex can quite reliably do men-at-arms longbows. Since the men-at-arms got their buff on the cost being lower, it actually made Longbow men-at-arms strats feel like you're just building normal archers, which is pretty cost efficient. I'm getting idle. Cat's income should be pretty nuts. Yeah, 2.4k. Peace. That's so painful to look at. 600 food income for Mongols. Compared to these numbers, Lucifron at 2k, 1300 for Vortex. Cat just has to do all the carrying now. And the Knights, they're slipping in again. More outposts coming up, but it still losses the B. Can ill afford in this game. Nice raid on the other flank. I like this because they've kind of put Cat between a rock and a hard place. It's not, no, it's not just that Cat needs to 2v1. He needs to 2v1 in 2 different locations. That's where I think it gets really tricky. Like, maps like this are way too big to wall. Unless you control the middle of the map. And the other problem is only one player on this team can wall. Remember, Mongols can't do squat. He's just getting slung a lot of resources. He's now riding deeper. He's looking for more worker kills. Yeah, he'll burn through this. And no, Cat, this switch into crossbows. You see what I mean? It's the right call to deal with men-at-arms knights, but it's the wrong call to play the map. That's what Vortex and Lucifron are doing so well. Instead of playing the Civ, they're playing the map. Outpost denied, resource denied. Night charge on the back, comes through strong. B, about to lose another 10% economy. Actually, make it 20. Oh my god. Stop bullying him, man. The military count is ridiculous too. And B, he's just full diving now. Longbow spears could easily go in here. He's going to pull back though. Knights on the back. They found more Abbasid farms. God, how many of them are there? Looks like Cat is thinking about Imperial. But that doesn't really do anything for 2 minutes is the problem. Oh, set. Let's ban that person. Castle drop now? I mean, this is a good idea. I think the way that Cat could solve this is either stone walls or castles. But you need space for that. If Vortex and Lucifron just straight up fight you, can you actually get a castle up? Guess you don't have to worry about it because they're too busy killing your main base. Oh my god. Cat. I mean, he can replace workers quickly. It's just the fact these farms aren't working. How many farms does he build in total now? Dear God, they're dying everywhere. He has 93 farms. 93! B's also at negative food income. Just say that again. 93 farms and only 40 villages on them. It's a good thing they're cheaper with Fertile Crescent. And now the Knights. Oh, he found it too late. The castle goes up. However, wait, no, get out. Get out. Let B in. B needs that. Oh, God. Guys, B can't replace villages. Cat can. That is a selfish garrison. Defense arrow comes out, but the dive continues. Kurtai isn't preventing them from going for this. Meanwhile, Berkshire in the center as Vortex looks to slay by going for tech. A lot of Knights going down from Lucifron. Did hang around a long time on that dive. But, you know, I don't mind this. I think he gets away with it by the fact that B has got a total of 1 military and it's this guy. Okay, guys, I want you to be honest. When have you ever seen a game at 24 minutes of Mongols that isn't over when the only military unit they have is the Khan? I'll wait. I think B's only option here is to fast Imp to get Karganet so he can get army. Karganet is nerfed and quite frankly rare in team games from what we've been seeing. White Stupa is usually the go-to. Wheeling and dealing up onto the enemy side is ambitious. Meanwhile, dive into the base. He goes to the TC. He has so much fun. Remember, he's Imp. His torch damage just amplified. And Elite Tech should be coming in soon. Yep, 30 seconds for the archery and the men-at-arms. Spears already got their gold hats. Primary TC going down. They see a window. Oh my god, this is so ironic. Vortex and Luciferon lost the landmark snipes on this map yesterday. They aren't quite there yet. They'll have to find the Mongol landmarks, but there's only 5 landmarks between these two players to snipe. And they've already taken out the primary TC there. This has at least been fully repaired for B. He has hidden the silver tree in the corner. And they are max trading to the left side now. The Cat, for all that effort of eco bloating, I would be surprised if he has 100 economy 2 minutes from now. Wait, oh my god, the timing. If he didn't get distracted, that was smart. Cat kind of engaged him to draw him away, so tech up will complete. Otherwise, that would have been a damning way to end the game. I always love this about teching with a bass. With any Civ, right? When your landmarks just disintegrate again. Luciferon. I wonder if Vortex will sling him resources. Vortex is mostly capped on what he needs. So it would be pretty nice to get his bro up. There you go. Luciferon now stockpiling himself. He says, don't need the help. I've got it. Dude, these raids! Like I said, with 4TC, this has mostly been shrugged, but kind of a little annoying. Now it's starting to have an impact. Because Cat isn't at 200 pop, so he's not willingly being at 120 eco. And the corner is anything but safe, guys. 2TC down here. A castle to protect, the trade, the farms. I mean, this is all that's really left of them. But not for long. High armor on the way up. Luciferon has the potential for siege if the game goes long enough, but we'll be surprised if we get to that stage. Because this feels like a killer army. A castle drop again from Cat. Vortex, has he gone towards the incendiary yet? No. The incendiary would be pretty nice for these dives. I don't think he has elite army tactics either, though. So plenty of tech wiggle room still for Vortex. I mean, remember, he's been tech for, what, 2-3 minutes? He only now has enclosures coming through. Sacred Sight's also unlocked. This would be a divine comeback, a miracle comeback out of being Cat. They're behind on economy. They are most definitely behind on military. They're behind on technology. I sound like a negative Nelly right now, but they're up on spirit. Actually, no, they're probably running low on spirits. I'd have to drink a lot of vodka to tolerate much more of this. Dive past, just shutting down the crossbow wave. No front line here to protect at all. A lot of out of time being achieved still. And once again, those knights are wiggling through. It's just in playing. Cat now under 100 villages. Poleaxes just came in, so knights just got full buff. Incendiary is now on the way for B, alongside the volley. At this point, I feel like Cat and B are kind of just going through the motions, right? We've all seen a bunch of Abasa games that just get to this point where you had this insane eco lead, you look broken as all hell, but then the taxman comes, right? He's like, you owe me some of what you've been working on. And he takes his pay in blood. B now with the White Stupa. I mean, you know, more landmarks, they can't landmark victory you, right? Yeah, White Stupa with zero army is, it's kind of questionable. Ambitious, I guess. Like, the problem with Karganet is if you have to go Karganet here and you somehow survive this, you're probably going to lose the game a few minutes down the line. Let's just lose it now. GG. It was the best looking effort yet and still was not enough to stop the Spanish bros. I think that one's like, does greed still work in team games? Answer's no. Why doesn't he just hide his landmark in the stealth forest like I do? Oh, look at you. You're. I can tell that you've been playing a lot of free-for-alls. You guys still remember when Corvinus done that in the Outback Octagon? That's the most stupid game I can recall from that event. Just had a little, he had like one stealth forest in the center. He had, I think, villagers cutting through the tree lines at the edge of the map to hide in the back. He was trying to rebuild a base back there that then got found, and then he was left with a landmark hiding in a stealth forest in the middle of the map. One sec. Check eco kills. I don't think you want to see that. I don't think you want to see that timeline. I don't think anyone needs to see that timeline. Oh, I didn't notice the Crucible page. Lol, what a noob. Like, what are these stats? Loser Fraudcon. All right, let's have a look. Oh, dude, how bad could one chart be, right? It's just a chart, guys. Charts can't hurt you. Charts can't hurt. See? Charts can't look. B was very stable, okay? He had the same amount of villages at the end of the game as he had halfway through the game. Very stable. Cat. Let's not talk about Cat. Military count, though. Yeesh. I feel so bad for B. The final quarter of the game, he just had no military the whole time. Oh my god. It's the fort that counts, I guess. I don't know what else you want me to say to that. Oh my god. Right, so... Oh. Let me check. I'm going to check with Carlo. That's definitely everything done for today. Because originally he told me that's everything. But I just want to confirm. Oh my god, though. Like, what other depressing stat do you want? Resources. Yeah. I mean, come on. This is like a kick to the teeth, right? Like, you go Eco Wing 4 TC, and Roos had more income, was gathering resources faster between minute 0, like essentially minute 0 and minute 15. And even afterwards, they weren't that far behind you. That's pretty impressive, actually. Pro Scout's still strong, guys. Pro Scouts with the bounty gathering, still pretty good. So I think what we got left, I mean, we could look at the Anatan B games, but obviously the outcome is known on those, is the thing. Because, you know, we just had the other set. Jazz hands. I guess we could look at them, though. What do you think, guys? What do we do? We could do some pubcasts. We could check in the series we've already seen. I could play some other games. Or I just go chill. I don't know, I'm kind of tempted towards a short stream. For a start, my stomach is actually killing me. So I kind of want to go lay down a bit. Also, we do have tomorrow, remember. So tomorrow, we have got the Elite Classic 4, which I'll be casting on this channel. We build our own kingdom. Whoop, whoop. So... I mean, we can cast whatever we want, but like, there's a lot of interesting series over on this side anyway. I was thinking we could probably do... I'm either thinking Anatan versus Dimmu or Beastie versus Corvinus for opening set. I mean, Gully done some interesting surprises, right, recently. I'm leaning Anatan Dimmu, though. I think that could be a pretty fun set. And after that, there is Louis MT versus Puppy Paw, which I think will be a pretty epic one. Then following that up, so let me just try and move myself mostly out of the way. Oh, that didn't work at all. Display Cup? Yeah, then following up, we could do Corvinus versus Numadon. And then we could finish off with probably Wham versus Kilyadi. So yeah, we got some pretty epic series we can get through tomorrow. And then I think this is going to be a similar thing of a lot of games happening at once the next day. And then, I don't know, maybe we'll see in the week. Maybe we'll recap some of these. I mean, I want to start, like I said, I want to start having a variety day or two in the weekdays. I need to figure that out still. Because I've kind of been neglecting on that. But let me check. Okay, and plan is to play remaining games Monday, or I imagine we don't know yet. Like, I'm just trying to get clarity from Carlos on what exactly the plan is for the remaining games. He said to me earlier they play next week, but I don't know when next week. Okay. Yo! I got one new sign up. Let's go. Keep it going. I want to see that number go up. But thank you, thank you. Remember, guys, Opera GX, we're working with them again for like the 5th time now. They love coming back. They love working with you guys. If you're looking for a browser, want someone new to try, someone that has a built-in ad blocker, is got a built-in VPN, which is free to use by default. You can pay for a better one built in, but you can get it for free. Or if you find that your browser is using way too much RAM and CPU, which, by the way, RAM's really expensive, so this is a nice little cheat, it can limit all those things. So go have a look at it. Opera GX, and shout out to them for working with us again. Always a pleasure to have them come back. But yeah, I think I'm going to cut it short, just because I know I've got a few emails to catch up on, but I'm probably going to go do that laying down because I don't feel too good. I've been feeling rough recently. It's weird. I still need to make more doctor appointments. Yeah. So, thank you very much for watching, guys. What I'm going to do now, I'll find someone to raid. YouTube, find your own way through the internet, my friends. And I'll be back tomorrow with EGC Games. Twitch, though, hang around because we'll